Welcome to our adventure in Return to Monkey Island. The Monkey Island Part 3A that Ron Gilbert has been talking about making for probably the past 20 years or more, although there were a lot of rights issues to work out with the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm and Ron Gilbert himself kind of floating between lots of different development companies for quite a long time. Humongous, Double Fine, etc., now Terrible Toy Box. But apparently Devolver Digital and Terrible Toy Box managed to put this together, and we'll see how it looks. We're obviously doing hard mode, so there might be a lot of staring, but let's see how it goes. Chess Bunzo, I don't know which OS you're on, but most operating systems should support ScumVM, and ScumVM is the easiest way to emulate all of the classic adventure games.
Guybrush, come over here, gently now. Remove my mask.
Interesting that this is the voice they have for Chucky
All right, I promise.
at the end of Monkey Island 2.
Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're
Not
not
sure if I
supposed to be in here.
Envision it this way. Anyway, this is literally the ending scene of Monkey Island 2, so...
What's next?
Let's goof on those two. Pretend they're our parents.
Yeah!
Oh, that's new.
Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells.
Don't worry, I found him.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
Okay, I did choose a text plus speech. I might reduce the text size a little bit. So yeah, this picks up very directly off the end of Monkey Island 2.
Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Except this time, we're in on it.
Sir. Come on, I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way, you have to try one. It's the best
I
thing
suppose
you'll ever
that's-
eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow.
Replaces the good old Weenie Hut. Chucky has good ideas. Interesting. Okay, so there is kind of a cursor hotspot thing going on with these circles, identifying different things you can highlight.
That was bigger than my head.
Having played some of the adventures from Telltale Games, which was founded by Dave Grossman, who did work on this game as well, I kind of recognize this feature. It'll take some getting used to, I think, the controller interface here, but let's adjust some text size while we're at it. And bear with me while we figure this out, because I think I do want to retain text plus speech, especially because I'm occasionally talking over things and I may be inattentive. But dialogue choices, hover text size. Yeah, let's take everything just a little smaller here, so it's not quite so obtrusive, and we'll see if that works out. And hopefully it's still a reasonably visible experience here. You want a scurvy dog? Yeah,
Some places
good time
you
of
go
day
have
for that.
Scurvy dogs with cheese inside.
Okay, so there's going to be something context sensitive here. I guess we just have one button here right now. Yeah, I like the text size here much better. Chucky
should
has
we
good
do
ideas,
next?
apparently.
We gotta get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one.
Yeah, hopefully sound balance is okay with my speaking over the game. But let's take a look. And like shooting mice in a barrel. Scary
Let's
door.
not go back there again.
Yeah, this is where we
we'll
came
just
out.
get yelled at.
Yeah, let's get scurvy dogs instead. I'm hungry.
And yet, notice the sign in the top left of the interface if you do try to move around when it's in the middle of a cutscene. Also, inventory is going to be on Y. And then there's a quest tracker. That's interesting. Okay. We'll slowly get used to this, I'm sure. And there is a run button as well. That's just on the shoulder buttons on the side. So I am playing on the Nintendo Switch, which is why I'm using a controller interface rather than touch.
Exhibit removed. Aww.
Yeah, we'll have to put something in. Tie up Chucky. Yeah, we'll do that eventually. I'm sure. Let's explore first.
It's locked. Maybe one of the shops has a key.
You know what? No, let's see if we can type Chucky now, just to see what happens.
I once had the hiccups for 4 days.
Hey, Chucky, stand over here for a minute.
Nah, I want to get scurvy dogs.
He'll probably need some kind of distraction. That's okay. What's this say?
The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog.
Well, that's promising. You can get some scurvy dogs in here. Oh. Well, here's the weenie hut guy. Use L or R to right stick to cycle through the different objects. Okay, so you can kind of tag the different interactive objects.
Did you know you can keep a
As soon as
scurvy
you
dog
move with a
warm
stick,
by
though, that's
sticking it in
part of the
your
UI
armpit?
does drop off. So yeah, I like that we'd reduce the text size. I think that works out pretty well. Hopefully it's still visible on mobile for anybody viewing there, but we'll take a look. Okay, and you've got some contextual dialogue that you can
In France, they call a scurvy
kind of
dog.
trigger directly from the interface here. I don't think I was trying to dash out of there. Hang on here. Okay, don't slip into grease. Okay.
Looks like they need a swabby in here. I'll never be the ship's swabby. That is really, really low.
Key. Let's just tag everything and talk as we go. I did put on the verbose mode in this
You
game.
put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it.
I'm kind of wondering what a difference there is, but you know, we might as well see everything we can on the first go.
I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that.
Oh, he totally
I got
trusts
the
me.
leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
Okay, so we can examine the outhouse key.
It unlocks
Okay,
the
so there's a
outhouse
contextual look button as well. That's interesting.
I can stand on my head without using my hands.
Okay,
It says
Return
outhouse
or
key when
else.
finished.
Yeah, we can do
or
that.
else. That's where the outhouse key was.
And order a grog. I don't think we're of age, but we can try it.
How much is a mug of grog?
Grog's for grown-ups. Beat it.
Oh, we can fake ID again, like in the last game.
Can we get a mug of grog, please?
I told you, grog's only for
Just get
grown-ups.
a library
Stop
card or
wasting
something.
my time.
Chicken foot fries.
Can we get some chicken foot fries?
You got 2 pieces of 8? That's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is.
Have you got any?
No.
Then no fries.
How
Well,
much are those chicken
let's see
foot
how
fries?
much they are
Chicken
anyway.
foot fries are
2,
2
okay.
pieces of 8.
I once ate 2 scurvy dogs at the same time.
How much are the
I'm
scurvy
sure you did,
dogs?
Chucky.
Scurvy dogs are only a half piece of 8.
Well, I've got no cash yet, but we'll see about that. And okay. I kind of like this
Those
tab
glasses are
interface
thicker
actually
than the
for
layer of grease on the floor.
selecting the actions.
You kids better have money.
We do not have money.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of money.
Aha, okay, there we go, dialogue. So hopefully small text is going to work out here. It looks fine for me, though. We've asked all this already. Oh, interesting. So I wonder if it just asks the same thing as when you do the contextual shortcut actions. I think it probably does, but
Can we get a mug of grog, please?
I told you, grog's only for grown-ups. Stop wasting my time.
yeah, if I were playing with touchscreen, obviously, I would be using the large dialogue selection, so I can kind of see why that exists. But
I wonder if this is drinking water.
I
Hey,
doubt it is.
Chucky, get ready to run.
You love this guy? Yeah? Oh, well,
I guess they don't like visitors.
see
Let's
about
go
that.
next door and get scurvy dogs.
Let's go next door and get scurvy dogs. Well, we've tried. Let's tab and see. Oh, okay, you can reach the heart over here.
Sounds real. Wakey,
wake him up?
wakey, Mr. Pirate. Hello? Phil!
Ah, he's dead to the world.
Oh, he's having a nap. Let's mess around.
It's locked. Good thing I've got the key in my pocket.
Okay, so let's
I have an extra tooth in the back.
use
I
the
can
key.
feel it with my tongue.
Okay, so you can just select a key and then tab between different things that are potentially interactive, except it'll say no to anything that you can't click on, which is great, because then you don't spend all your time whiffing item interactions like you do in the classic SCUM interface
Good.
from way back
you
when.
unlocked it.
From 30 years ago, in fact, if you think about... I think LeChuck's Revenge came out in 91, in fact.
Did you
Anyway.
know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
And of course, they'd already kind of moved towards a contextual interface in Cursive Monkey Island back in 97. Peek in the toilet. Yeah, we might as well.
Chucky, why don't you look in the toilet?
No way. You do it.
Okay.
Ugh.
Not very pleasant.
Gross.
Okay.
It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
I
That's
think we'll
called
take
a
it.
slug. It's like a fake coin.
Let's
I thought
think
it was
about
a
it.
piece of 8 at first.
Okay.
A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin.
Might as well.
At home, I've got a collection of old
If it's
scurvy
worth
dog
a
sticks
pair
that
of
fill the
scurvy
whole
dogs.
shoebox.
I have no idea what this is. Okay, sure.
I can't even tell if it's animal, vegetable, or mineral. Ugh, what is this stuff? It smells the same as the toilet.
Well, maybe the sign
Please
can tell
wash
us.
hands before leaving outhouse.
I think that is unlikely. No idea what that is. So does Chucky say something different contextually if
What
you talk
should
to
we
him
do
in
next?
a different space?
Gotta
Oh,
get
okay. It's
scurvy
basically
dogs.
just a tutorial
I
message.
can't believe you never had one.
Okay, might as well leave. Yeah, so it'll highlight things by proximity, but if you stand still, then you can highlight different interactives on the screen, which is pretty useful. Well, we've got the slug. We might as well grab a pair of dogs and see what happens. We can't quite exit here. I want to see if we're able to exit
I
anywhere
want
else, in fact.
2 scurvy dogs at the same time.
Further away from delicious scurvy dogs, I feel like that's going to be rejected.
We'll get some scurvy dogs and then go play over there.
And I am correct. So let's return the key proactively just to see if we... Yeah, totally. Where's the key?
Look, I'm returning the key.
Like a good
you
citizen.
Want a medal?
I do want a medal. Hey, we got an achievement. Excellent. That must be something optional. Who knows? Yeah, let's ask him.
Now what?
Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Can we get a couple
yes,
of
we
scurvy
can.
dogs?
Sure. If you give me a piece of 8.
Oh, okay. I guess we need to do that.
What can we get with this?
Does he have an eye for counterfeits?
Tastes like a piece of 8. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want. Take 'em, boy.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours.
That's scurvy, all right.
So good. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Well, we can play in the next area, I bet. What does it say again?
Words don't look like
yeah.
words. But there's a picture of a scurvy dog.
And we can't really interact with any of this currently, so let's just move on. Ah, yes, and then the icon changes when you're able to do
That's my friend
the
D.
scene transition.
Hey, D,
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
we just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There. Perfect. See you around the park, shitheads.
Okay. And challenge Chucky to a race. Talk about the anchor. Let's talk about the anchor.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place? They were used in combat, shot from cannons as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way.
Really, we're going to
people noticed what
endure
happened when you missed
every
the other
detail
ship
here.
and hit the sea bottom instead. The current bow-shaped design is actually less effective than the sharper V-shaped design that was popular last century.
I actually kind of wonder if
The
this
older
was
design went out of
exclusive to the
fashion after
verbose
sailors
mode.
started to think the letter V was bad luck. You can still find the old kind around sometimes, but collectors have grabbed most of them. On a modern anchor, if you look close, you can tell that one side is a little larger than the other. That's to prevent what's called plummeting, where the anchor goes down too
You took this as a
evenly,
lesson on how to
and
skip
then it
dialogue.
doesn't
Okay,
touch
okay.
well on the bottom. The little flanges at the tips are at different
You never
angles
know,
to make
because
it twist on the way down for the same reason.
In these
Most
games, there are
anchors
always
these
these
days
moments
are
when they
made of
actually kind of
iron.
challenge you to
have
just
to
endure
repack them
something,
like
right? To see what
twice a year
happens.
because they rust. About 30 years ago, somebody thought of a way to get around that by making them out of wood instead.
It lasted as
Kinds
long
of
as you
people
could.
invested a lot of money in these wooden anchor companies, but the only way they could keep them from floating was to attach another anchor. And so they gave up and went back to the old way. The word anchor
Wow, this
comes
really
from
does
the
go on.
Sanskrit word Nagara, meaning city. They're called that because when you stop in the middle of the ocean, it's like you've made port at an
I feel like I want to
invisible
look up
city.
how long this
Yeah,
goes on
I'm kind of an
for.
expert
Oh,
on
wait a minute.
anchors.
Does it
I
stop?
read
I bet it doesn't stop. Oh, it does stop. Okay. If you missed anything, you can press the less button to see previous lines. I'm sure we'd love to. Oh, interesting. Okay, great. This is quite convenient because you can just kind of scroll backwards and learn all about anchors all over again. Because there will be times, I'm sure, especially because I'm talking over this game, that my attention will absolutely flag a bit.
I once had the hiccups for 4 days straight.
Yeah, and then every bit of incidental dialogue is also captured by that, which is great. And it goes back quite a long ways, in fact. So, to the beginning of this scene. Talk to her about the anchor.
That's a cool anchor.
That just did you
Okay.
know that they were used and they
And then we can
started
skip.
Then the current bow-shaped, but you can on a modern
And we'll just
anchor
page through
to
it.
prevent the little most anchor about but the word anchor they're called
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. As far as verbosity is concerned. Challenge
Hey,
Chucky to a
Chucky.
race. Let's do it.
Want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1.
Hey,
Oh,
cheater!
whoops.
You have to wait until I say go.
I guess we do.
Hey, Chucky. Want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, we'll use the run button. So,
Win!
still pretty deep in tutorial land here, but we'll master the controls for time. Take some bread. Naturally, we will.
Hey, hands off!
And we'll distract our purported mother at some point to figure that out. Okay, let's talk.
Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your armpit?
What's in the basket?
I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days have no regard for personal property.
But I
And
thought
no
we were a
respect for your
family.
elders.
I have half a mind to give you a piece of my mind.
And I've got the other half.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Grab some bread while they're not looking. Okay, great.
Gotta run.
How rude.
And okay, that works. Let's see if we can talk to them further.
Would you boys mind letting us enjoy our day in peace? Thanks.
Okay, they're certainly not treating us like they're children. That is a yuck.
What's
What is
this
this?
red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs.
So, let's pick it up and let's see
You
what we can
should put that on
combine.
your scurvy dog.
Oh yeah, he's totally going to teach me how to combine items, so we will do that. Can we put it on the bread though?
Smells bad.
I want to. Oh no, we can't. Okay, so it does show you what the valid combinations are going to be, and then we're not going to take a bite yet. I do want to see if we can assign the bread to the duck.
Give it some of your bread.
And that seems to be the point of this interaction. Oh wow, and you can kind of select the individual lily pads as well. Not that we'd want to. Just yet.
It looks full.
Okay, and then what is it going to do about that?
It looks full.
Well, we might as well try the scurvy dogs. Take a bite. Very promising. Absolutely dripping with flavor. Okay,
Yuck!
maybe not so much.
I think that was ketchup.
Whoops.
Well. There was only one way to find out. Search for a four-leaf clover. Read a sign. I guess contextually we should have talked to Anchor Girl over here as well, if she had something to say about this particular vessel. Practice sword fighting. Well, okay. You fight like a dairy farmer.
Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level.
So
I
maybe
win.
I
win.
just never paid attention to the end credits when I played
You guys are both
Monkey
pretty
Island
weak.
originally.
Well, anyway,
but
that was fun.
I only noticed when I replayed The Secret Monkey Island last week that there is a credit
Did you know your
for the
feet
sword
won't
fighting
smell if you don't
insults
wash them?
to the science fiction novelist Orson Scott Card, who I think the story goes that You Fight Like a Dairy Farmer was something that was actually concocted by Orson Scott Card's daughter, and he wrote some of the rejoinders, which may or may not have included how appropriate you fight like a cow. But anyway, he had some kind of
Did you know
nebulous
your feet
involvement
won't smell if
with
you don't wash
writing
them?
insults for Monkey Island that earned him a credit. Not all of it, and I'm not exactly sure which lines were his and which weren't, but he was involved in a project. And yeah, so Orson Scott Card had some kind of connection to LucasArts back in the day. I think he might have done some work on Loom or some other games as well, but, you know, ask him about Loom.
Let's look for a four-leaf clover.
Yeah, let's look for
Okay.
Good
Clover.
luck with that.
So yeah, that was an interesting discovery for sure. Okay, hold down L and R at the same
I found
time.
one.
Wait, I didn't actually read the
Awesome.
tutorial message here.
There was
Hold
still
down
one
L and
left.
R at the same
Darn.
time to do something. It was doing
I
some
once
kind of
got a
contextual
scurvy
highlight,
dog
I
that
think,
was
but I
bigger than my head.
didn't actually pay attention.
I
Oh,
already
we can-
found a four-leaf clover.
Okay, we found one, okay.
Do you like to hunt for four-leaf clovers?
Yeah, I leave them where they are and take the extra leaves off. I want things to be even.
So that's a very promising
I
equestrian.
once got a scurvy dog
In
that
the
was
back there.
bigger than my head.
Pick up the coin. Maybe we can go back and... Oh, let's see how much this is worth, actually.
Maybe I should throw this down the wishing well.
No, we shouldn't. We should go back and buy more stuff. Perhaps some grog. No idea what this is worth, but we can always see.
I never thought I'd ever find one.
Let's see if the game lets me go back. We're going to do it. Before we do any wishing well nonsense here. Also, notice the sign, probably do not feed the ducks, I would bet.
Don't feed the duck.
Don't feed a duck. Well, too bad. Too late now. I should have tried the scurvy dog with it, actually, but... You know what? What do we still have? We still have the scurvy dog here. I kind of wonder if we can feed the rest of it to the duck. We are going to try it. And then we can go tab through all of this stuff. We can
I'm
totally
saving
feed the
this
duck.
scurvy dog for myself.
Ah, too bad. Okay. And can I examine a coin?
Maybe I should throw.
Nope, not the wishing well, not
Some
yet.
places you go have scurvy dogs with cheese inside.
Well, Chucky is certainly optimistic about that. Okay, let's show him the coin.
Maybe I should throw this down the
No,
wishing
grab, and then let's see. Buy 2 more scurvy dogs. No, that means this is only worth 1 piece of 8. I feel like we should see if we can afford... I mean, I guess maybe that's just a single piece of 8, but... Let's see if we can afford anything else. No more food. Okay, so I guess we can't actually buy anything, except perhaps grog.
We already got food. I want to go play now.
Let's see this interaction.
I've got another piece of 8. Can we get
Yeah,
more
this is
scurvy
just a
dogs?
single piece.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Beat it, punks.
Fine then, we'll take your key.
I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that.
We already have the achievement for returning it, so no need to be a good citizen anymore. We'll proceed along our merry way. And run, run, run. So, can we do anything else? Practice sword fighting some more? No, we're good. Wishing well, sure, let's toss it. I wish Chucky had a mustache. Oh, I don't know. He had a very full beard previously. I wish D would disappear. No. I wish for a cool plant. Possibly Chuck the plant.
I wish for
Let's
a
take it.
cool plant.
A plant? What
That
a
would be-
waste of a wish.
Absolutely tickled if it turns out to be Chuck the plant. Okay, it doesn't.
I take it back. That was the best.
Chuck the Plant, of course, an old recurring LucasArts joke, but one that actually was reused by Ron Gilbert in one of his later games.
I once had the
Uh,
hiccups.
Did make
for
a
4 days
cameo
straight.
appearance in The Cave, which was his sort of mashup between a side-scroller and a point-and-click. Do we
was
do
cool.
anything else here?
I wish I
We
had another
do
coin.
not have another coin.
What you
Indeed, do you
looking
have
at?
anything
Those
else to
kids
say?
jumping rope down there? They're doing it wrong.
What they need is an anchor. Okay, open the gate. Let's go. And oh, hey, it's
Hey,
older
Dad.
Guybrush.
Hello, Mr. Three.
Oh, interesting.
Hey kids, having fun?
Yeah.
No, that's a
got
twist.
Scurvy dogs.
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures. We just did big
You got an
whoop.
achievement
Big
I didn't
whoop.
get.
Oh, boy.
Interesting.
That takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asked me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun.
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh,
I
that story has a
remember
great
that one.
ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. Not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of Monkey Island.
Is this a long story?
Well,
I
in
think
verbose
maybe I
mode,
gotta
it
go
certainly
use the
will be.
bathroom or something.
Yeah.
Like I've been saying,
I
I've
have
been
to
very
go,
curious
walk my tarantula.
about
Maybe I should go with them.
No,
whether the
stick
secret
around.
is what I
This
think
a
it
good
is. Now,
one. See, there was a rumor going
Well,
around
we'll
that my
talk
old
after this scene.
nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch.
okay, back to some familiar territory. So yeah, because as I've said in some previous streams, I did meet Ron Gilbert once, about a decade ago, and I asked him to tell me the secret of Monkey Island, and he actually did give me an answer, and I'm very curious to see if he actually kept that answer, because apparently he's has something in mind ever since he worked on the original games that was due to be revealed at some point. And he'd been talking since the early 2000s, I think, about finally revealing the secret of Monkey Island in something that would be Monkey Island 3A, which, as you can see, he finally made. Anyway, you were saying you got an achievement I didn't get. Maybe you actually kept the honorable action of having returned a key and left a return, but maybe there's something else in the tutorial zone that I just didn't see. So, we'll see. It'll be a unique experience, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of the original composers coming back as well, I believe. was a silly thing I could have done. I'm usually pretty thorough, but I guess I missed something. Actually, going back to replay Monkey Island 2 made me doubt my own thoroughness, because pretty much all of my stumbling blocks were just realizing, or failing to realize, that something could in fact be clicked. Where you would just try everything and you just wouldn't do the simple thing of picking things up. Anyway, started part 1. A friendly place. Foundering, welcome. Yeah, Foundering, Michael Land is fantastic. Peter McConnell, of course, love his later work with some of the
good to be back
other
on Melee Island.
LucasArts games as well.
Pirating in the Caribbean.
The score of
Every
Grim
good
Fandango
expedition
actually was a
begins.
huge
I'll see
influence
some
on me
old pals and
when I was
get
younger.
things rolling.
Great to see you around,
Sailing
Foundering. By the
Hi.
way,
I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Remember me?
do remember when you were
course.
playing
We lookouts have
some
a
of the
lot
older
of
Scum games
discretionary
with your
thinking
daughter some time ago, I
use
think.
mine to revisit my memories of every Anne, Jack, and Guybrush who spent 5 seconds with me a decade ago on their way to someplace else.
Is this guy still blind?
Wow.
Relax,
We'll see.
I'm just winding your anchor chain. Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood. What have you been up to?
What have
You know,
we been up to?
freebooting mostly, swashing buckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck.
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic? Are people evacuating?
He doesn't seem interested in carnage at the moment. Ship's just here taking on supplies and crew, as far as I can tell.
Well, anyway, no. I'm not sailing with LeChuck. You know my history with him.
Okay, so that guy steals all my best ideas. Yes, he does. So interestingly enough, so we're meant to think that this version of Guybrush has had his children, Little Guybrush and Little Chucky, and that's irrespective of his history with LeChuck, he has named his bullying son Chucky. That's okay. You know, we all know everything's going to loop together in the end. It'll be Xenoblade 3 levels of nestedness or something. Anyway, that guy steals all my best
Steals
ideas.
All my best ideas.
Are you sure it isn't the other way around?
Yeah, Foundering, it's been a
Seems
long
like
time
he
since
was
I've done
here
Fate of
first.
Atlantis,
I
actually.
don't know how
I
he found out, but I'm sure
got
he's
Scum
just doing
VM
this to get
loaded
what
up
I'm on.
again to play Monkey Island 1 and 2 before this one, and I really should go back and do some of the ones like Fate of Atlantis when I can. I did do a replay of a lot of the games that were remastered a few years ago, so Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, etc., and just kind of ran through the mid-90s material again, and Day of the Tentacle has aged incredibly well. Yeah, we'll go
LeChuck
through all of these
kidnapped my
choices.
wife. He's always
Oh,
had designs
try
on
not to
her.
talk over
I
too much of
sailed
it.
to Monkey Island to find them and get her back.
Oh, I thought you weren't married yet when that happened. And didn't she more or less rescue herself?
That's not the point.
Yeah, I don't remember which path in Fate of Atlantis I took originally. I'd have to go back to the game and try to recall that, because I think I only ever did one route through it. The thing about a lot of the old adventure games is that usually I'd finish them once and I'd put them away for quite a long time to give myself a chance to forget the solutions. And sometimes it would take, 10 or 20 years to get back to them before I sort of have the inspiration to do so. Yeah, let's
He's an
keep
evil
scrolling.
zombie ghost pirate, terror of the seas, and sometimes the land.
Brains,
A
Bronson team.
nefarious,
Yeah, that's right. I think I went for
conniving,
Brains.
murderous
I
scallywag, a
didn't do too well with
depraved,
the
villain, and a loud talker. And I'm
fist fight minigame
not
back in the
those
day, I think.
things.
They say opposites
Relied very
attract,
heavily
but
on the sucker
what do
punch.
I know?
We've been enemies for my whole career. Everywhere I go, there he is. He plagues me. He's my nemesis.
Funny.
But before they
He
had
said
all the
same
answers
thing
on the
about
internet.
you.
Are you telling me you never dialed 1-900-740 Jedi?
I'm mounting my own voyage.
I mean, neither
Mine.
did I, but
Well, you'd better get cracking then. LeChuck's loading up on the outer dock as we speak.
Well, I'm gonna hire a ship and a crew and beat him to the punch. Just as soon as I can get someone to back the venture. I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
In that case, you'll want to go talk to the pirate leaders at the Scum Bar.
Exactly. That's why I came to Melee. It'll be great to see those old guys again. We'll knock back a grog.
I'm
and
sure they
hash
still
out
have the old
details.
t-shirts.
Scum Bar, by the docks. Long table in the back.
I know where I'm going.
We'll see.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've played Thimbleweed Park, which was Ron Gilbert's last game before this one, and which was a fairly explicit late 80s, early 90s point-and-click revival with the old verb interface and everything. But that one kind of had a bit of an in-joke about the 1-900 hit line as well. We can chat with him some more. We can stare into the fire. Let's do that.
I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you.
No, it wouldn't. We could hear about anchors all day. Warm your hands. Is there anything we can roast? No. Oh, we have a pen. Interesting.
The pen is mightier than the sword.
Yes, it is.
I've got a few coins for incidentals.
And quest tracker. Talk to the pilot leaders. Wazo cash. Yeah. Relive the glory days as we're doing right now. And I think I'm able to select a mini lookout. Yeah,
I
let's
detect
take a
a
look at him.
certain resemblance here.
Yes, it looks a lot like an owl, doesn't it?
Okay. I'll take pen as mud here. Exactly. Oh, yes, that's right. The Celebrity Jeopardy. It's been a long time since I've seen that sketch.
Shouldn't you be on your way to the scum bar to talk to the pirate leaders?
We should, but I
was
like
just about to head
talking
down there.
in these games, so. Alright, let's head down. Okay, good old Melee Island. What's the
Re-elect
poster this
Governor
time?
Carla.
Governor
She's
Carla.
keen on
Ooh,
bluntness.
interesting. Former Swordmaster Carla, of course. After Governor Marley had deserted her post, apparently. LeChuck is already loading his ship. Interesting.
I'll talk
Yeah.
to the pirate
well,
leaders before I go see what LeChuck is
oh,
up to.
okay. I'm going to be restricted. That's too bad.
I'll talk to the pirate leaders before I go see what LeChuck is up to.
Ah, the scum
Some
bar.
things never change. The scum bar will be here as long as there are pirates. Oops, I almost forgot to duck into the scum bar to ask
Okay,
the pirate leaders
so
to back my
we're gonna
expedition.
We're going to be funneled down this course instead before we do anything. Talk to the pirate. Let's do that.
I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
Are they going to... Oh, there's a trivia book. We'll do that. Collectible card trivia book.
It's a book for
Interesting.
storing collectible trivia cards. Looks like someone just left it here unattended.
We're taking it.
Yo-ho!
Oh, if I can. There we go. Oh, interesting. In the back of the scum bar is... It's a kitchen. At least last I checked. I don't know if that's changed. Do I get anything? I guess we'll find out. Okay, so we can collect these. You've got many, many pages. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of achievement eventually for completing everything. Let's talk to more
I'm here
pirates.
to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
In the back.
They're all going to be equally exasperated about this. I guess we've highlighted all of the ones we can, though. New
Looks like
decor.
a circus act. Maybe.
Okay, so the pirate leaders are supposed to be here. Maybe these are the new ones. Got a new crew. Notice the instrumentation and the music kind of modernizing accordingly.
Have you seen the pirate leaders around? This is their table. In fact, you'd probably better move. You don't want to get caught sitting here.
It's our table, Rummy.
We're the pirate leaders. Get lost.
Heavy metal pirate, exactly. Let's scroll through everything.
I hadn't heard there was a change of leadership.
Oh no. Did nobody remember to notify you?
Maybe your party invite got lost in the mail.
I feel very excluded.
Where are the three older guys who used to hold court here?
Who cares?
Probably crying in an alley somewhere, wishing they were still relevant.
Making up trials for each other and writing memoirs that no one will read.
Is it you I should talk to about financing an expedition?
An expedition? Who is it that you think you are exactly?
I'm Guybrush Threepwood, mighty pirate. Oh. Yeah,
I'm
let's do that.
Guybrush Threepwood. Probably you've heard of me.
Probably not.
Permission to slaughter the annoying old wastrel man, Captain Madison.
Wait, it was Captain Madison? She's like famous!
I've never heard of
her on a
Captain
trading card. Her
Madison.
plunder stats are amazing!
Plunder stats aren't everything.
Then the others were Captain Lila and Captain Trent? It was Lila who threatened to kill you?
Look, they weren't that great, okay? Listen to the story.
Want me to slaughter him?
Don't bother. He's just a harmless hack who thinks he has a good idea for a pirate raid.
But we do have a good idea for a pirate raid. I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island.
You're wasting our time.
I was a bit hesitant to pick the last option in the list because sometimes it just scrolls you forward through the tree. It's a prize of incalculable cultural value, let's say.
It's a prize of incredible cultural value.
Culture. You mean like a cheese or something?
Might be closer to the mark than we think. But we shall see.
Okay, I'm sensing some reluctance, but hear me out. Would you at least
yeah, let's
consider
ask for
advancing
money.
some funds? It's a surefire investment. Triple your money or your money back.
Not interested.
I could make it worth your while to help me hire a crew. A percentage of their earnings or something?
No one in here wants to chase your pipe dream.
Could you at least
I would
point
like
me
a ship.
towards an available ship?
Maybe Stan still stilling around here.
You're really up a creek.
Up a creek without a ship.
If you don't take this opportunity, LeChuck will grab it.
LeChuck?
Yes, the dreaded zombie ghost pirate LeChuck himself is also going after the secret. He's here in Melee getting ready right now. If that doesn't prove it's a worthwhile venture, I don't know what else to tell
So
you.
have they heard of LeChuck? Let's see.
Problem solved.
Excellent. You'll do it.
No, of course not. Why waste money on an expedition when you can just join the one that's already going?
Have fun with your scary ghost friend. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Well,
I
the
guess
slight
we're
problem with that
cooperating.
idea is that LeChuck and I are basically mortal enemies.
They seem to find this very entertaining.
Fine. I don't need you or your money. I can do this on my
Can
own.
I check the back? I'd like to see
I
the
can't fly a
kitchen.
ship. I'll steal one. I'm a pirate. I'll find a way to get to Monkey Island no matter what it takes. I like the old pirate leaders better.
I do too, but I want to check the kitchen. If we can. Let's see. Kitchen. Smells good in there.
Guybrush Threepwood, as I live and breathe, how have you been?
Peachy. shall we
How's
say.
Elaine? She was always my favorite governor. Also, she covered your tab when you stopped coming in.
Very kind of her. Still in public service, fighting scurvy now.
Still in public service, fighting scurvy now.
My place is
Yeah,
clean.
Foundry.
Our health certificates
Yeah.
are up to date.
Ask me about
Not like
Loom
that.
Pirate at the very
She's at a
start here in
foundation.
the bar.
They're trying to promote limes as a preventative.
Oh, well, tell her I say hello.
And yeah, let's just
The atmosphere
Chat
in the
about the
bar
place.
is different than it used to be.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I've got to cater to the new crowd. Everything changes, Guybrush.
But the roaches stay the same.
I've missed your wit. And your low alcohol tolerance.
Hey,
Loom was the first one you played around 91. Okay, that's interesting. And yeah, I've tried to go as far back as I could. I actually couldn't really get into the original Maniac Mansion that deeply. But I think, you know, that was very prototypical in some ways of many systems that it would refine by the time they got to games like Monkey Island 1, which is kind of understandably influential. Like that whole set that was around the turn of the 1990s with Monkey Island and Loom and so on.
Those new pirate leaders seem like real jerks. Why do you even let them in the bar?
Well,
simultaneous conversation
my
here.
old regulars, so I don't have a lot of choice if I want to stay in
Your daughter
business.
got farther
Also,
in
if I
Maniac
tried to
Mansion
get
than you
them
did,
to
yeah.
leave, they'd
It helps to
probably
not
cut me
be
up and throw me
constrained
in
by
the
conventional
sun.
thinking.
Frankly, I'm terrified of them. On the plus side, they have more disposable income and better hygiene than the old crowd.
I haven't played absolutely everything. I don't think I ever played Zack McCracken. I don't think I played The Dig, actually. I believe I played the first part of The Dig on a demo disc back in the day. Because, you know, around the transition to CD-ROMs, I think I had a whole set of these.
Did I mention I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island?
No, I don't think
You got to dig on a demo CD as well. Yeah, we probably had the same
So you'll be
CD-ROM
hiring a ship
set.
at the
I would not
docks?
be surprised if we
I'm
did.
thinking I'll steal one.
As far as I know, the only ship out there is LeChuck's.
Even better. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Bold. I like your thinking.
Yeah, because Foundering, if we're talking about the same CD-ROM set, you'll probably remember that on Sam & Max Hit the Road, there was a B-side that was actually the music CD with soundtrack. I'm sure that would be something that would stick out in your memory if we did in fact have the same edition.
Ooh, I think I hear the health inspector.
What? Where?
Just kidding. That joke never gets old.
And yeah, the Sam & Max CD had a pretty good run on my old CD player as well.
Ooh, I think I hear the health inspector.
Oh yeah, we said this already.
Where?
Let's
Just kidding. That joke never gets
get
old.
out of here.
Keep up
Keep
the good
up
work.
the good work.
Thanks. Will do.
Notice Stay Puft Marshmallow Man over here.
Looks like a mugshot.
I kind of wonder how many Lucasfilm-related references will still be in this. They're all over the old games, of course, but, you know, since this is no longer directly tied to the old Lucas stable, who knows? Anyway, maggots
little guys,
all over
aren't
the
they?
grog over here. I guess we can't really access the grog. Impressive health department
It's amazing
certificate. I
what
wonder
you
if we can pick
achieve
that
if you
up.
put your mind to it. Then you have a packet of stick-on stars.
On one hand, I'm glad we don't have to contextually guess at what you can or can't pick up. It'll just tell you. But on the other hand, it does perhaps rob us of some potential dialogue interactions. Steal the picture? Well, not while he's looking at me. I bet it doesn't
Stay away
allow
from
me.
that picture.
Yeah, that looks like it's something potentially precious.
Well, it's definitely a mop.
Let's see what else there is here. Yeah.
Pests or garnishes?
A good cook sources local supplies when he can.
Rancid
Food is more
foodstuffs.
exciting when you can smell the risk.
I bet we can still go out the back here, too. Well, let's offer to clean up, first of all.
Will you advance me the down payment on a ship if I help you clean up?
Put that down before you hurt yourself.
What?
Clearly, there's a lot you don't know about mops.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I prefer to keep it that way.
I guess we didn't demonstrate the proper stance. Stand near the stove. Now, why would we want to do that?
Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday.
Pretty sure Dig was supposed to be a movie, but it was too expensive. Yeah, I remembered that Steven Spielberg was kind of involved with its early development in some way. I know that The Dig was kind of marketed at the time as being Spielberg's baby, but I don't recall the extent of his actual involvement.
Pleasantly scorching hot.
So, Chess Bunzo, I believe that the Guybrush voice actor is the same one that was first introduced in Curse of Monkey Island, which was the first one that I think launched with voice acting. I think the voice cast that was introduced in that game also returned for the remasters of Monkey Island 1 and 2 that briefly existed on mobile at the beginning of the 2010s. I never played those, but apparently there were enough people who liked the voice acting but not the art style that there is a way to patch the software copies of Monkey Island 1 and 2 with the remastered soundtracks. I didn't look into doing it myself, but some people have recommended it. But yeah, they have some long-standing voice actors for the main cast that did return for this game, so far as I know. I believe it's Dominic Armato, who is Guybrush.
The plaque
Check out the
says,
wooden
in
seagull."
memory of looming seagulls of old.
And yeah, I think I know what happened to that one. I can always use some string, of course I can. Pick up a trivia card. Okay, so we can totally collect trivia cards as we go and maybe continue to quiz ourselves. How do I open a trivia interface? Open a trivia book. There we go. Melee Island Circus was run by the Fettuccine Brothers. We know this stuff. I'm glad it's recently within memory. I would not have been able to guess it correctly had I not reviewed the games within the past week or two. Anyway, can we pick this up? No, we can't. Let's just go then. I don't think there's anything else I can interact with for the time being until we distract him in such a way that allows me to steal the picture. Can we distract him? Oh.
Pleasantly scorching hot.
What do we have here? To-do list, untangle a string. Yeah, let's untangle
hopeless.
It with difficulty. And we can also do something with a
Nice
fire.
and hot. Wonder how long I could stand here before bursting into flames.
Probably the same time that it takes him to drown, which is 10 minutes. And can we say anything new to
I'm
these?
gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you.
What if they all say the same thing? Let's see.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
Don't sound much like pirating to me.
What a spoil sport.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island.
It'll turn out to be a t-shirt or something.
It'll totally turn out to be a t-shirt. No, I kind of have an idea of what I think it might be, but we shall see. I'm sure that knowledge is out there at this point, with people having completed this game already in the week and a half since its release, but I have come in here unspoiled, and we'll hopefully keep it that way. Let's see about the job
to
openings.
Fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here.
Looking for a job? Step this way.
The clipboard in your hand says you're the quartermaster.
The crew says I'm the quartermaster. Clipboard doesn't get a vote.
So the clipboard, you can infer, is not part of
You
the
look
crew.
like a guy without many options. You want a job? I'm short of swabby.
Probably need to
LeChuck's
grab
an
that
equal
mop.
opportunity employer. Even humans are mostly tolerated.
Have you got anything,
Have you got anything
more senior?
more senior?
Well, I need a second mate, a bosun, a ship surgeon, and a gunner. Do you think you're qualified for any of those?
Ship surgeon.
How about ship surgeon?
I assume you have some kind of medical degree?
Is that a definite requirement?
Sorry.
We might as
I
well
could
see
be
what kind of
second mate.
Do you honestly have
Item.
any idea what
We'll
a
need.
second mate does?
Goes to store openings and funerals and waits for the first mate to be incapacitated?
I thought so.
I'd make a great bosun.
Exactly what qualifications have you got for that?
I can hold my breath for 10 minutes. Okay, maybe 8.
Don't waste my
definitely
time,
10.
okay?
I could be the gunner. Oh, I'd be great at that. Boom, boom.
You look a little scrawny. What do you bench?
Bench? No problem. I sat on one for 12 hours once. I can take it.
I have a lot to do today.
All right, let's
Maybe
take the
Swabby's
swampy
not
job.
so bad after all.
The only requirement
Yep,
is that you
as
bring
expected,
your own mop.
we grabbed them all.
Got a mop? Job is... Hey, wait a minute. What's your name, sailor?
Andrew LeChuck. No relation.
Andrew LeChuck. No relation.
What a coincidence. LeChuck gave me a blacklist and you're on it. In fact, you are the blacklist. I'm sorry. Can't hire you. You're obviously Guybrush Threepwood.
Well, that's a slight hitch.
Well, maybe
I'm
the
confused.
financiers will reconsider.
Didn't you say you were gonna get your own ship?
Yes, but then suddenly I thought, why bother? I wanted a ship and a crew. Here was a ship and a crew. Ripe for the taking. All I had to do was
He
get
is
on
a little
board,
older now,
wait
that's
for the
true.
right moment, and strike.
Strike?
Mutiny the crew, seize the ship. Be a pirate.
Except they wouldn't hire you because they knew who you were.
Yeah, that was a problem.
As far as holding
Also,
his
I
breath
needed a
goes,
mount.
you mean? Yeah. Anyway, let's see what's here.
I
Raw.
hope this isn't one of those party cruises.
Somebody's on fire in the back.
No parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4.
Okay, what's
Say
in
what
the
you want about
supplies?
my evil, horrible nemesis LeChuck, but he does know how to stock a ship. Looks like this is going to be a long journey.
Hey, more cards. Let's take a look. How will we do this time? The coat of arms on the Bermuda Ice Castle features the following. I actually don't know that one. We might need to back out of this one for now. So, I don't know how deep that will go. It's been a long time since I've played A Curse of Monkey Island. I could never get into Escape.
I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. Looks like
Actually, I
this is
remember
gonna
Ron
be a
Gilbert
long
telling me
journey.
that he couldn't either. Escape from Monkey Island, being that 3D one that was released a little after Grim Fandango, kind of a second crack at doing a 3D engine, and honestly a less successful one. And then there was, of course, the serialized
sell us out to
Telltale
Madison.
game, Tales of Monkey
I
Island,
believe he
about a
needed to
decade
relieve
after
the
that.
pressure upon him in a different way.
I honestly don't remember what that trivia question would be referring to, so we might have to hold off on that one for now. Some of them can only be answered after playing this game. Yeah, I thought that might be the case as well, so much more of a question of collecting them for now and eventually going for that achievement. Back into Stumpar, we've been there already. I was totally not paying attention. Let's just continue to explore. We will need the mop in the kitchen. But we'll go into town and we'll see what we can do to eventually distract the cook.
Elaine? Guybrush!
Wait, are you going to tell a mushy part now?
It's a mushy part now.
A little, but I can skip over the hugs and kisses. Elaine!
Guybrush!
I was hoping you'd turn up in this story.
I was
I
hoping
mean, of course
you'd
you
turn
would.
up in this story.
I was hoping you'd turn up in mine.
So the thing is, with Guybrush's kid in the frame story, who's the mother? Let's ask about the scurvy prevention.
It's great! We're going to get a lot of limes
And
to
a
a
very
lot of
small
sailors
percentage
and
of cards,
save
I see.
a lot of lives. I've got to come up with a way to deal with Captain Madison, though. The pressure she's putting on the town is making it hard for social programs like mine.
And yeah, let's just
You won't believe how I'm getting to Monkey Island.
I've known you a long
be very
time.
presumptive about getting to Monkey
Try me.
Island.
I'm planning to sign on to LeChuck's crew, mutiny them, and take the ship.
Oh dear. Isn't there an easier way?
Oh, trust me, that is the easy way. Sounds like we've both met Captain Madison.
I don't like her. She's the one who pushed to shut down the shipyard.
She doesn't understand the value of the secret of Monkey Island.
She laughed at me.
Me too.
Yeah, all
Obviously,
these new
the woman
upstarts
has no taste and a lousy sense
who
of
think they
humor.
know how to run the place. I feel better just talking to
I
you.
feel better just talking to
We're
you.
not saying goodbye
Me
yet.
too.
You've probably
You've
got to get
probably
going.
got to get going.
I bet it.
You say goodbye first.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, that was quick. I was kind of wondering if that would continue, but sketchy
It
graffiti.
doesn't look finished. Honoring Melee Island's 27th Governor, Carla the Swordmaster, for her heroic actions at Port Elizabeth.
And criticize the statue, of
The
course we
problem
will.
with this statue is it's not a statue of Elaine, the best ever governor of Melee.
Guybrush knows his art.
It's Elaine's flyer about how limes combat scurvy. It's important, but boring. I've never once made it all the way to the end.
So I think the cook can probably use it as a
Elaine
distraction.
would kill me if she caught me pulling down her flyers.
Oh, well, she doesn't need to catch us.
Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Oh, this was my favorite novelty store. They're having a half-off sale.
Half-off sale. I have some cash. I don't know exactly. Oh, look, men of low moral fiber. And Wally is stationed here nowadays. It's the men of low moral fiber. I wonder if they still have their rat.
Well, if it isn't Frank, Fred, and Finn. How are you?
What you be talking about, boy?
Oh, whoops. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else.
I don't think they were named in
I promise.
1 and 2.
That Guybrush
But I don't know about the other games.
What's to be a pirate?
And you're the pirate leaders. I was looking for you.
Oh, yes, that's
Aye,
right.
well, we're not the pirate leaders no more.
Former pirate leaders is what we are.
Yeah, I already met the chilling trio who took your place. And your table.
Escaped with your life, I see.
What did you mean, wants to be a pirate? I've been a pirate for a long time now.
You may call yourself that, but remember the 3 trials.
I
Did I
remember
not
them.
complete one?
I was proud to complete them. I still talk about it sometimes. Ad nauseum, Elaine says. It's Latin for something.
Be that as it may, I don't recall us being presented with evidence as to the completion of all 3. That
Oh, yes,
were
because
part
the
of your instructions
third
at the
task
time.
is
Oh,
interrupted.
no. Really?
'Tis true enough.
Listen, can this wait a little longer? I've got a lot on my to-do list right now.
Aye, it matters not. We've all of us moved on.
You didn't see these guys here. Oh, interesting. I don't know how this would be conditionally triggered. Maybe it's because I'm into verbose mode, possibly. But I don't really know, so. Anyway,
I'm going on
let's
a
keep
journey
talking.
to find the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret.
What a prize!
That's what I tried to tell those clowns in the bar.
They say the pirate what holds the secret can never be sunk, that the wind always fills his sails.
In the old days, we might have gone after it ourselves.
But we've got no fish to fry, so to speak.
We've sold our ship and sunk all of the cash into our next venture.
Now,
Tell me about
can
your
they
next
bankroll
venture.
me for something?
What
Let's
is it?
see.
'Tis a fish shop on the high street where the general store used to be.
A place for buying of fish and telling tales about the catching of fish.
We'll be open on the morrow. Be sure to stop by.
We'll give you the friend's price on the unpopular fish.
You said you don't have a ship? Where do you get your fish?
From reputable sources.
We'll give you an additional discount if you don't talk about that where people can hear you.
Alright, I guess we're going to at least stay here till morning.
How is it that you're not the pirate leaders anymore?
Time and democracy, boy.
A lot of our supporters be dead drunk, or retired.
Our eyes be sharp and our judgments keen. But once she be labeled old school, that's all that gets seen.
That
The
rhymes.
traditions
I
of
wonder
the
if I
3
should have
trials
paid more
have become
attention to
a
this.
joking matter in some quarters.
Dark times.
Aye, they even water the grog and mix it with fruit these days. Won't even strip the varnish off a deck.
Kids these days.
Why'd
you pick this corner?
instead of one closer to your fish shop?
The woman as lives above the shop location is doing a bit of haranguing today. We'll stay clear of her. Thanks very much.
I'll see you around.
All right.
Seems likely.
Enough with the former private leaders. We'll catch up with Wally in just a bit, but let's take a look at the trivia card here. What have we got? Which of these is not an island in Monkey Island 2? Reef Island. Correct. Okay,
They're having a
alright.
half-off sale.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Let's take a look at some of the
This place has kinda
graffiti
gone downhill.
first. So, is that the time?
Oh, yeah. That clock has been broken for decades now. Elaine would never have stood for this when she was governor. What kind of person would just paint on a wall like that?
And yeah, we'll check out Wally in just a bit. Let's do the International House of Mojo first. Also the name, of
Going
course,
out
of
of
one of the
business?
classic
This place is an
adventure game
institution.
fan websites. Mixinmojo.com.
Well, the voodoo here must be authentic,
Which I think is
culturally
still up and
historically
running.
accurate. The sign says so. Ah, the International House of Mojo. This place hasn't changed in years.
It really hasn't. Except for all the discounts.
Welcome,
anyway, Voodoo Lady.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again.
I have been waiting for you.
So the Voodoo Lady was one of those elements that kind of jumped out at me when I watched the Pirates of the Caribbean films in the mid-2000s and realized just how heavily they were cribbing all over the place from Monkey Island. I mean, they even have the dead squiddy ghost pirate and everything in the second film, I think. Anyway, you mean ever since we last saw each other? It's been years. Yes, it has.
Fate ordained that you would be here several minutes ago. Only you can manage to be late, even when you are fated to arrive.
It's a gift.
Allow me to
We were
seek
busy
knowledge
talking.
on your behalf.
Will it cost me anything?
Pride, free will. Not much. The way to the secret is like a serpent which swallows itself. Many obstacles lie ahead.
Serpent, obstacles, got it.
You must walk the path. Yet you have already walked the path.
And now I'm going back again.
Well, given the frame story and how it connects to Monkey Island 2, that seems totally sensible.
Forward. Open this book for guidance on what is to come.
It can tell me my future?
In a way.
Oh, hint book,
Think
okay.
of it as a book
We're not using
of
that.
hints.
What is it really?
A book
of hints.
Use it wisely. To know too much diminishes the voyage.
Neat. Thanks.
No
Well,
charge.
We'll avoid it if we can. I'm kind of curious about how something like a smart hit system would be developed. That was something that came to mind with Thimbleweed Park as well. Kind of interesting from a software and game design perspective, but for my first solve, I think we'll try to go without. Impressive cauldron.
The feast of knowledge.
Oh, trivia card. Let's do that. Let's take a look. We do not need a hint. Captain Kate Capsize was wrongly imprisoned on trumped-up charges. I wonder whose fault that was. I don't know if I would have noticed when I was younger that that character was named for Kate Capshaw. Among the many Indiana Jones elements in the older games. Impressive chair.
I've always been impressed by your chair.
Thank you.
We'll chat some more later. Disguises.
This is a neat symbol. What does it mean?
That used to contain magical disguises. But alas, they have all gone.
All sold
It's
out?
too bad you're sold out. A magic disguise seems really useful.
There's always the famous eye patch of John Laney at the museum. I'm sure the magic has worn off by now, but I believe I could restore its abilities.
Okay, Eye Patch Museum to the Voodoo Lady.
An empty basket. I should have gotten here last month. Do you do gift wrapping?
We're out of wrapping paper, unless you'd like it wrapped in the skin of a lizard.
No thanks. Too bad it's empty.
And
It
what does it
says
say?
everything
must
must
go.
But it says it with numbers. It's a creepy shrunken head with long, stringy hair. I didn't know these were a voodoo thing.
They're not. But the tourists like them.
And what's this
Keep
statue
up the good work,
here?
buddy. Not very practical. Looks like it's been there forever. Not for me.
Okay, I guess we can't really pick
Everything's
any of this
spilled
up,
out of
but
it in a
we'll
puddle.
talk about it anyway.
A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game.
What kind of crystal? Oh, okay. I see.
Green, half off. Blue, half off. Yellow, half of half off. Orange,
Infinite
aren't you glad you're
regress.
here? Someone's very excited I'm looking at this sign.
Okay, do we have a key?
It's an unusual safe with 5 keyholes.
Or 5
Alas,
keys,
the
rather.
safe is not for sale. It has been placed with me for
Safekeeping, of course.
safekeeping.
wonder if we can actually open that eventually. Open a rugged safe. Well, I mean, there's an interaction here, so.
How much for the safe?
It is not
Okay, not for sale at any
at
price. Yeah,
any
we'll
price.
get 5 keys.
As I said, it has been placed with me for safe.
Green, half off. Blue, the curtains are for sale too?
Everything goes.
Everything but
They
a safe.
make a great dress.
Okay, what do we got here? This looks really sharp. Can I take
It is
this?
a non-magical ceremonial knife. Very sharp indeed.
I feel like that will be useful.
Oh, I'd like this knife.
An excellent choice. I will need you to verbally agree to a release of liability.
I agree.
This product is not to be used in the commission of any crime, including vandalism, jailbreak, and theft of ancient priceless
So we're going to steal the eye patch
No
with it,
problem.
aren't we?
Threatening, frightening,
It's totally going to be the eye
stabbing,
patch.
shaving, or manicuring yourself or another person are likewise considered outside the scope of acceptable use.
Oh, okay, I guess.
The product is not balanced for throwing. Throwing the product violates these terms and will invalidate the warranty. Whittling,
just for display,
slingshot,
basically.
mumbledy-peg,
Mumbledy-peg.
juggling, and any tricks involving stacking or balancing the product may cause serious injury and should not be attempted by unlicensed persons.
Uh-huh.
Use with breads, spreads, bedspreads, or
Now,
threats
that's out of
may
Dr.
damage
Seuss.
the
Bread
product.
spreads, bed
If
spreads. That's in
damaged,
One Fish,
the
Two Fish, Red
product
Fish,
should
Blue
not
Fish.
be used. Product is sharp and should not be carried in a pocket, coat, belt, hatband, handbag, shoulder holster, or sheath. At all times, keep the product away from children, pets, the aged or infirm, clowns,
Or
pirates,
clowns.
and adults. Where possible, it should
And
be
Chess Bunzo,
locked
yeah.
securely in a vault.
I'll be
The
streaming this on and off
manufacturer
over the
accepts
course
no
of the next week
responsibility
at
for
least.
the consequences of any use or misuse of this
And I
product.
hope you enjoyed your run
By
as well.
verbally assenting to these terms,
Happy
purchaser
trivia
hereby assumes
collecting.
all liability, past, present, and future, throughout this and all possible and impossible universes.
Okay.
Oh, is this where I say yes?
Yes.
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 I say
Is
yes.
there anything I am allowed to do with it?
I am not able to answer that question, as it could create a liability issue.
Oh, that's very good. We'll take it. We'll probably violate every term and condition
What's this thing?
in order.
It's a forgiveness frog.
Forgiveness
When
frog.
no apology will do, give the forgiveness frog.
I feel like we need
It's
the
like a
forgiveness
card,
frog.
only much better because it's a frog.
I've never heard of that before. Are you sure it's real voodoo?
No comment.
I feel
It
like this has to
works.
catch on in
Trust
real life. Forgiveness frogs. We got to keep that in mind. Very useful.
I'll take this forgiveness frog.
It can help someone forgive even very old transgressions.
It's probably going to Elaine eventually. Eats?
Next time I'm in a drum circle, this would come in handy.
And what's in a top shelf here? Top shelf.
All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least wait until I say what I'm thinking? It's creepy.
Okay. No disguises, baskets, gifts. I think we scanned this pretty thoroughly. Alright. Let's get out of here. And see what's going on over at Wally's. Now, what was it that I could select here? Hey, it's Wally's
Looks like
Maps
Wally's
and
got a
More.
new place in Melee. I hope he's not still sore about the monocle.
He doesn't know I took the monocle.
Hey, Wally!
Well, 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 look what the surf washed ashore. It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again too, Wally. Whatever your last name is.
I spent years in therapy getting over being burned, blinded, blown up, abandoned, and marooned because of you.
Oh yeah, we left him
Yeah,
behind.
good
That's
times,
right.
You're lucky I'm past all that and am running the best map shop within the Caribbean and beyond.
I'm looking for a mop.
This is Maps and More, not Mops and
I
More.
totally read the
I
dialogue
was
as
hoping
map.
the and more might include mops.
Well, it doesn't. Try asking the cook over at the bar where he got his.
You wouldn't happen to have a map to the secret of Monkey Island.
Funny you should ask. I recently made one on commission, but then they destroyed all my source material. It is the only one in existence. Best of luck to you.
Okay, let's
You have a lot of maps in here.
We've got so many, you need a map to find them all.
That's very meta.
Cartographer humor.
Yeah, I'd forgotten how funny
I like that.
Looks like the shop across the way is in trouble.
The high-stakes, ego-driven world of pirating is changing, and dark magic is taking over. Voodoo magic is fun and all, but it's not what the new generation wants. Me? I'm on the bleeding edge and making a bundle. I'm about to franchise.
The town seems to be pretty run down.
Since Captain Madison made Melee her base of operations, people have been complaining. They say she brings a bad element to town, but that bad element spends a lot of money on maps. So, what am I supposed to do?
Do what's right?
I am.
Sell maps.
I'm doing what's right for Wally.
It's great to see you landed on your feet after all these years.
Business has been booming with all these new dark magic pirates. Captain Madison has me on a lucrative retainer. She pays extra for a bunch of wacky symbols I just make up.
I'll let you get back to cartographing.
That's not a real word.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've got lots of maps over here. Interesting designs. There's one on a fan. Ooh, a monocle. We'll take that last. We'll take a look at Wally's cartography
The
stuff.
finest tools to make the finest maps.
I didn't know you made globes, too.
I don't. This is for reference. It's got all the latest continents.
So that's how the trade works around here.
I appreciate that Wally hasn't traded it in for a new model just because it's been around the block once or twice. I feel very strongly about that for some reason. Hey, Wally,
boxes.
what's in these boxes?
Yeah.
Maps.
Slightly suspicious ladder to a window.
Hey,
I bet
Wally,
we can look out.
What's with the window ladder?
I use it to keep an eye on the neighbors.
Well, it's good to have a hobby.
Very analogous to Demonical, if you think about it. Look at a maze
Good
map.
old mazes.
Interesting.
Can't get enough mazes.
Yeah, we'll see if this game also ends with something like a maze and chase, like some of the other ones do. Oh, what's going on back there? No, we can...
It looks expensive.
Look at the...
And shiny. I like
expensive. Compass rose?
Huh, never seen one of those before.
What about this one down here? Can we select it? No, that's it for selections. Let's see about all of these. Low-cost pre-owned map. Hang on. It's not a maze, but a handsome map.
Ooh, this one looks nice. How much is it?
Oh, that one? Too much.
Hey,
Boxes.
Wally, what's in these boxes?
Maps.
Paper? No, just maps.
The first rule of piracy is never buy a used treasure map. That looks like a treacherous voyage. It says, rating, Cursed Black Diamond.
I feel like that should be part of a Ski Hill standard as well. Cursed Black Diamond. Innovative
It's
map
maps
bundle.
wrapped in maps. I didn't know you could do that. I had a map like this once, but I sailed left.
Okay, let's see here.
It's a map on
Admire
a
the
fan.
map.
What will they think of next?
I think I've seen something like that in real life, in fact. That is something that exists.
This must be Trouser Island.
Actually, Mr. Threepwood, it's...
Yep, Trouser Island.
Definitely Trouser Island.
What's this a map of?
the secret movements and activities of my competitors.
That sounds reasonable.
Odd map up
It's
in
a
the
long,
corner.
small map of somewhere far, far away. Ooh, looks chilly up there. This map shows both sides of the globe.
It's twice the value.
Wally, can I have one of these maps?
Absolutely. If you pay for it.
We can pay for it. Oh no, too expensive, I guess. Well, we can try to pilfer the monocle again, I suppose, just like
They're
old
like
times.
glasses, only way less convenient.
Let's do it.
Ooh, look behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Oh,
You won't
please
notice
take
a thing.
one. I use them to promote my business. See, it says maps and more on the edge.
Thanks.
Well, he's certainly learning. So, let's see what the monocle is going to interact with. Eventually, let's see if Wally has anything else to say before we
Hey, Wally.
get out of here. It's the pirate life for me.
Yep.
Okay. I think we've looked at pretty much everything we want. Okay, we've seen the graffiti, we've seen pretty much everything on the street except for maybe the going out of business signs.
Going out of business? This place is an institution. Well, the voodoo here must be authentic, culturally, and historically accurate. The sign says so.
I am reassured. Meanwhile,
LeChuck, sir. Just thought I'd pop in and let you know. Preparations to set sail are almost done.
You have all the supplies for the spell to get to Monkey Island?
Check. Squid ink, chickens, brimstone, cinnamon, monkey blood, mint, and an annoying skull.
Well done! Mark yourself down for one less lashing this voyage.
Funny story. Guybrush Threepwood tried to sign on to the crew.
Threepwood? He must be looking for the secret too. That guy steals all my best ideas. Have him killed!
I wonder if that is meant to match the dialogue choice you have earlier when you say he steals all your best ideas.
I want him to see me sail off for Monkey Island knowing the secret is lost to him.
Whether it's
forever.
reactive or completely scripted.
I want to bring this up one more time. Is searching for this mythical secret of Monkey Island a good idea?
It's an
Should we be
excellent
out
idea.
terrorizing the high seas, instilling fear, creating mayhem, being more on brand for LeChuck?
I've had enough of you questioning my orders. Finish loading the ship, and whatever you do, don't let Threepwood on board.
Very well.
Okay, let's see. What's the old woman? Yeah, we can do that.
Hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay.
Okay, let's take a look at the old general store.
The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
Yeah, I suppose stealing from the safe was not the best idea of it. Graffiti.
Looks like a volcano island with horns that swallowed a basketball. The note
Go in.
says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
Okay. We can go down the alley at some point, but let's take a look at the church here.
A visitor!
Old memories.
Wait.
Oh, hey, it's Stan
Guybrush Threepwood?
on the left.
Otis!
Howdy, kid.
And Stan. Otis, old pal. You haven't changed much since I last saw you.
I blame the government.
In fact, didn't we first meet right here?
Not at all. I was in the other cell that time. You look different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice.
Very new art style. This time, though, the secret.
Big news. I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
That sounds fantastic! You know what I remember most about Monkey Island? The time you busted me out of jail right before we went there. I don't cruise ships anymore, but maybe you can still help me out. Like you did all those years ago.
Yeah, I'm sort of planning on hijacking an existing crew instead of recruiting one. But maybe I can spring you anyway, for old time's sake.
I would be most appreciative. A locksmith has opened very conveniently across the way. I am told locksmiths can make keys for things. Things like cell doors?
Imagine that.
I feel like locksmiths in general can do very good business immediately next to his jail cell, but what did they get you for this time?
I'm a victim of circumstance. Circumstance being that too much attention gets paid to little things that don't hurt anyone, while hard killers roam the streets with pistols and swords.
I notice you didn't say what crime they locked you up for.
It's
It
the
was
secret
nothing.
of Monkey
I was
Island.
just picking some flowers.
In the forest?
No, that's illegal. I learned my lesson. I picked them from the governor's garden instead.
So Carla was having none of it.
Picking flowers from the governor's garden sounds like an unwise choice.
Carla's his old
We used to be
crewmate.
friends. Sort of. Anyway, they aren't even her flowers. Taxes pay for them. It's public property. I don't know why anyone bothers me about it. I don't hurt anybody.
We'll accept the flowers.
They're annuals. They're doomed anyway. Guybrush, you gotta get me out of here. It's custard night. I don't think I can take that again.
I'll make it my number 3 priority.
Thanks.
Okay, so we will eventually bust through the lock.
I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read.
We can use the monocle with it, obviously. Let's... Monocle
Makes
is
things look
always useful. And then let's see,
Watch your
magnify
boots in here, son. It's like a swamp.
tiny
Without
numbers.
the clean parts.
There we go.
I can read the serial number. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
And we'll use the monocle on the other one as well.
How's your day going?
Most of this serial number has been rubbed off.
Okay, we'll put it back together. Important information. I feel like that's going to be
It says jail rules. 1.
relevant here.
No escaping.
You look.
It says jail rules. 1. No escaping.
Okay. Oh, just one rule. Okay, sorry to interrupt Stan over there. We'll pick up the trivia card first and then see what else we can do. On the door of the outhouse is... I want to say moon. Okay. Wonder if I was supposed to know that at this point, or if that was just a distant memory
They say
springing
the
to
only
mind. Looks
real
like a
prison
health
is the one in
hazard.
your head. But take it from me, that's a load of barnacles.
What's the health hazard here? Let's take a look. Oh, there's
I
also
don't
a
remember
lamp.
this place being so leaky.
They finally installed running water.
Spider up top as well. That's
Eeh, a spider.
definitely clickable.
Word of advice, kid. Stick to the narrow straits.
At least the jail is well lit.
Yeah, but the better I can see it, the worse it looks.
Okay, what have we got down here? We haven't really talked to Stan yet, have we? And we
Jail
need
is like
to
a bad
do something
breakfast.
about his lock.
Small, greasy, and hard to swallow.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Okay. Are we really sorry to see him in jail? I mean, he broke out of the coffin, so...
Oh, sorry to see you in jail.
Thank you, son.
No
I
hard feelings
appreciate
about
the
that,
thought.
I'm sure.
I'm sorry to see me here as well.
I was really hoping to buy a ship from you.
Well, now, normally, I would do absolutely anything to get you into a comfortable ride right away. But my hands are tied. They're shackled. I can't do it. Not at any price. I'm completely out of inventory. Every ship on the lot was seized by unscrupulous lawyers who don't care about your sailing needs the way I do.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've already got a plan to steal a ship from LeChuck.
Well, if you don't get killed, look me up afterwards. I'll give you a good price for anything that can stay above the waterline. Naturally, it'll have to be store credit until I get back on my feet.
Now, let's take a look here. I wonder if it's going to acknowledge the coffin at all. Although the thing is, Monkey Island 2 is sort of in a weird place given the way it's framed by the introduction to this game. In terms of, well, whether it happened in this reality or timeline. What did you do that got you arrested
What
then?
did you do that got you arrested?
Let me tell you something, son. It's not what a man does that matters, it's who he is. Maybe one day, in a moment of weakness, he crosses a line. But if he's confident about what's in his heart, he can hold his head high. And you know what's in my heart, son?
Blood and goopy stuff?
People.
Money.
People are in
Oh,
my
people,
heart.
okay.
Anything I may have allegedly done, you can be sure I did it because I care about people.
What exactly did you allegedly do for people that got you arrested?
I gave them what they wanted. Now, naturally, people don't always know that they want the things they want. Sometimes it takes a man with a talent like mine to show them the way. And sometimes people who are jealous of that sort of talent will try to put all sorts of unpleasant labels on it. They use hurtful words like scam and misrepresentation and even fraud. But it's all just marketing, son. As natural as the rocks and the trees and the Melee Island flounder birds. And that's why I'm not worried. I'm awaiting final judgment of the court, but I'm certain I'll be acquitted. They don't hang people for marketing.
Famous last words, they don't hang people for marketing.
Sounds
Let's
like
keep
you
talking
should
to
have
him.
been arrested several decades ago. I mean, why now, all of a sudden?
One word, jurisdiction. I was expanding my core business, you see, trying to provide ship owners with a variety of ship maintenance necessities. Sponges, barnacle
Mops.
scrapers, repair
Please say
manuals,
mops.
rudder tape. I had a whole line of products.
You definitely sold them
I
all.
expanded my distribution to other islands all over the Caribbean. And that's when I ran into trouble. Some of those islands have different laws, you see, that might not seem so fair to men like you and me. They slapped me with a ton of paper, talking about things like standards of quality and consumer protection and environmental impact. They didn't understand that I wasn't really selling porthole wipers. I was selling happiness. And my customers were happy. They were perfectly happy right up until some clown with a briefcase came along and told them they weren't. It's a crock, son, and that's why it won't stand up in court. I'll be out before you know it.
Did he used to have a law practice? I don't know about that. This is not the first time, by the way, I've seen in this game that should be didn't you use, not didn't you use. But I remember thinking that in one of the other Monkey Island games in the script as well. Anyway, we're very picky about stuff like that around here.
Didn't you used to have a law practice or something?
Used to, but I was disbarred for what we former law practitioners call moral turpitude.
Is that a real word?
More or less. It's one of those handy catch-all words that you can use whatever you want because it doesn't
Like the
mean
men
anything
of
specific.
low moral fiber.
Would it help if I broke you out of jail?
Now that's a kind offer, it truly is. Warms me to think that you'd do that for your old pal Stan. But I've got to think about the optics. I don't want to damage my case, and escaping from jail doesn't look good at trial. So thanks, but no thanks.
We don't have his complete serial number anyway for that log, so I think that will be fine, but
are you sure you don't want
let's
me
see
to
if he
break you
needs
out?
anything.
115%, son, but thanks.
Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
Now that you mention it, there is one thing I've been missing during my time here in this lofty establishment. In all the rush and fuss and document shredding surrounding my arrest, I completely forgot to grab my toothbrush. If you happen to be passing by the shipyard, you might grab it for me. It'll be on my desk in the office.
Sure thing.
Okay, so the shipyard is still going to be accessible, maybe. And handing him the toothbrush should be no big deal.
I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret? Boy, that takes me back. But if you're looking for help, you're barking up the wrong enchilada. Just remember, life has no guarantees or warranties. Only jamborees.
Thanks. That's advice.
Good advice.
See you later.
Yep.
Okay, let's see about the locksmith and what we can do to break Otis out of here. Yeah, we used the monocle. That's fine. We're not using the hints, obviously. We'll appreciate
it's my
the
very
knife.
own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife.
Purely ceremonial, of course. Read the
This is
serial
the
number.
number for the jail cell lock.
Try to remember why I'm carrying a frog. No, that's for the apology, right?
The voodoo lady said it was a forgiveness,
Or forgiveness frog. That's right. Okay.
Aw, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work.
I was originally trying to click on this, and then that's when I entered over here instead. I think I probably just overshot with the scrolling. That's okay. More
I
graffiti.
think it's a
We'll read it
chandelier.
all.
Looks sort of like an eye.
Locksmith's over here. We'll check the alleyway first, in fact. We'll go back for the locksmith afterwards. New posters. Can't really click on this, though. Oh, what's down here? Let's see. Come on. Go to trivia card. There we go. How long can Guybrush hold his breath underwater in this game? In this game, it's 8. We were paying attention. Read the sign.
Employees only.
Employees
It
only.
seems to be stuck closed.
And this connects to the finale of Monkey Island 2 as well, in a way that I think is actually entirely optional. I don't think it's at all part of the required path to that game.
Welcome to my shop.
Hi.
I feel like crackers are going to go well with a parrot that we may or may not encounter earlier. There's a parrot right here, of course. We'll see how everything fits in together. Let's take a look.
At
Elegant
the
book.
end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
We can't grab it, even contextually. Let's see.
I see a peninsula
treasure map.
trailing off into small islands, but no X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
No treasure in Florida.
Is that from a famous locksmith band or something?
My mother's band, the Golden Keys. They were named after some actual golden keys that she spent a bunch of time looking for.
And
What is
what's
that?
this?
It's definitely not a key.
Very
Or
interesting.
a lock.
It's a fishing lure, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to buy it in a moment. I just want to scroll at everything else first. Yeah, I guess money is not really an object at this point. Or any of these smaller items. Can't buy the more expensive maps, of course, but we've tried.
I see everyone in that portrait has lovely locks.
If you have to make a pun, at least make a good one.
That is not a rule we abide by around here. We can ask about the locks in just a moment. Let's see. The parrot.
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious. But it was my mother's favorite.
Are these for customers?
Let's feed it.
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
Oh, I'd really like some crackers.
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
Okay, so we'll see what we can do to grab those. I'm sure we'll need them for something. They look very likely to be relevant. Which of these cannot be found on the ocean floor? Oh. This is a toughie. I don't know. I mean, is it referring to the ocean floor in... I guess you do see the ocean floor in Monkey Island 2 when you go to get the figurehead off the sunken ship, but I honestly don't remember what this would be. Let's not deal with it right now. Let's just leave the ones that we don't know instead of guessing. Until later. Clever nested boxes,
These are
very
nice.
self-referential.
It's a locksmithing test.
Close it all up, and if you get the key out, you pass?
That's the beginner level, yes. The real
Can we do it?
challenge is to lock the larger box inside the smaller one.
Aha. Definitely self-referential. Ask about the keys and ask about the lock, so we'll do that in a bit. Let's...
That's an impressive machine.
Yep. This wouldn't be much of a lock shop without a key grinder.
Can we try
Can
it?
I try out your key grinder?
No. I wouldn't want you to lose any fingers.
How
Let's
much for
buy
the
it.
fishing lure?
It's not for sale. This is a locksmith shop. Perhaps you saw the sign outside?
Can we
How much
insist?
for the fishing lure?
No.
It's not for sale.
Okay, coming to the parrot. We can't talk to the parrot, I've noticed.
What's this lock?
That's for hats.
What's that key?
That's for a lockable quiver.
Lockable quiver. Okay, we should probably maybe talk to her directly about my
I'm
request.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Locksmith.
Locks.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. And before you ask, yes, they did. Yes, it was. And they really, really wanted me to follow in the family business.
It's really clean in
Probably
here.
not, but doesn't
Do you
hurt
have
to
a
ask.
mop I could use?
I simply don't allow filth to accumulate in the first place. Try somewhere a
A
little less
sound
sanitary.
principle.
Like the bar, by the docks.
Yeah. I guess everybody is pointing me back to the kitchen and scum bar. We already know there's a mop there, but might as well ask around. I guess some people would not necessarily have seen it on their first pass by this point if they didn't explore the back of the bar.
Can you really make keys for stuff? That seems like a magic trick.
Modern locks have serial numbers that tell me all I need to know. No tricks necessary.
We'll give it to her, obviously.
Just information.
Who is the old lady?
It seems wrong that you can make a key from just
We'll
the serial
ask that
number.
in a moment.
It's a failsafe, in case people lose their key. You know how people are.
Aren't locks way less secure if all you need is a number to get a new key?
That's why you should never share the serial number with anyone.
Well, luckily we have that.
What happens if you lose your key and the serial number at the same time?
The numbers are usually engraved on the locks, just in case. And if you lose the lock, chances are you don't need a new key.
And I feel like some of this would already be familiar to us here if we had ever actually followed up on that lockpicking lawyer channel that's been recommended to me by viewers on several occasions. Mangy, welcome.
Well, what's to stop me reading the serial number on someone else's lock and having a key made?
The numbers are printed small enough that you need a special tool to read them.
Luckily, we have a tool.
Would have a tool like that.
We don't need to borrow the tool because we already read the serial number, but let's ask anyway just to see what happens.
Your lock serial number reading tool?
My magnifier? Not a chance. I could be drummed out of the union for that. If you want to play locksmith, you'll have to look elsewhere.
Yeah, this early in the game we haven't really had to solve anything complicated yet. It really tells you that, I guess, the verbose mode puts us through a lot of the dialogue and not much interaction so far, but it's pretty clear what to do given that I already have the serial number in my pocket. And let's ask about the old lady.
You mean Whitey Bones.
We're taking our time about this
She
stuff.
used to be the Undertaker here years ago. Seems to know a lot of things that maybe don't quite fit together.
Like locks. Maybe no?
How well do you know
Whitey
Whitey
Bones?
Not well at all. But she's been living near my shop for quite a few years. She was across from my old location, too.
But she moved when you moved?
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Now, which island could they possibly have inhabited?
I'm on a quest to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Exciting. The story in my family is that the secret is sort of like a key. One that opens all locks at once.
I like that idea.
All at once? Well, how does that work?
Kind of
No
metaphorical,
idea.
but you know.
It's just a story.
We'll find out
But I
about
guess
that.
you'll find out soon enough.
Yes, we will.
Tell me again about how
No, we don't need to hear it.
It's pretty.
We
I think
know
I'll
that.
browse around a bit.
Try
We've
not
got
to
the
touch
serial
anything.
number.
I've got a system, and I don't like it disrupted.
Definitely the mark of a professional. Let's take a look at the serial number. Let's
Can you make me
have
a
the
key from this serial
key,
number?
spring Otis
Sure.
out of there, and see if
Good choice
Otis
on the lock.
gets me anything
These are really
interesting.
sturdy. It's the same kind they use over at the jail.
What a
Ooh,
coincidence.
Wow, what a coincidence. I had no idea.
Okay, so we couldn't get the serial number off of Stan's, but we don't need that. We just need a toothbrush for him. So let's get Otis out of here first. It'll be a pretty simple interaction. We've got everything we need.
Kid.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, here it is. Key.
This is
It's
awesome.
appreciated.
Now I can open one of the jail cells.
Yes, we can.
Otis, the authorities have reconsidered your case and decided that you should go free.
Well, I like my position of authority. Let's take a look at the empty cell and not get locked in. All right, let's see about Stan's toothbrush once we get a little further in town. I mean, this way goes to the mansion, doesn't it? Or, well, we'll see. We'll see what Governor Carla can do for us. Not much to interact with here other than the mansion, so let's go in. Game audio died. Mang, thank you for coming in and telling me just in time. It was perfect up to this point. We'll make sure we fix that very quickly. Yeah, audio has mostly been good on this stream in the past few weeks. We didn't really have any issues with Splatoon, which I still want to do a few things with, but okay, let's get back to this.
Carla.
Anyway, right in time for the Swordmaster's reintroduction.
Guybrush Threepwood.
We're having some difficulty here.
Hello, Swordmaster.
Prepare to taste my blade, you washed-up hack.
How appropriate, you fight like a cow. Oh, no, we can't say that. What did you say? Prepare to taste my blade, you washed up hack, so we need to find a thing that matches. Okay. Anything but your cooking.
Anything but your cooking.
Low-hanging fruit, but it works.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
That wasn't an insult. What is this? You've come far since I got you your first cushy government job.
You've come far since I got you your first
Did I
cushy
do that?
government job.
Okay, I guess we
I
did.
hope you're not about to try to take credit for me being governor, because that would be both absurd and obnoxious, and I might have to skewer you for it.
No, furthest thing from my mind.
I heard from your wife. She's coming by to talk about scurvy legislation. I assume you're involved with that somehow?
It's being hammered by Captain Madison? Yeah, it is, but I take no responsibility.
I'm not automatically involved with everything Elaine does just because we're married.
I can see that. If it isn't about the scurvy project, why are you here?
I'm looking for... I will ask about the Scurvy project in just a moment here.
I'm looking for the secret of
We'll
Monkey
just
Island.
tell everybody
Good
that we're
for
looking
you.
for the secret of Monkey Island.
I don't have it.
Elaine says Captain Madison is hurting her scurvy project.
Not the legislative part, just the public funding. The town was in a bind a while back, and that so-and-so, Captain Madison, saw an opportunity. She lent us the cash we needed, but now we're up a creek paying the interest. Things like social programs, waste management, and town maintenance are all on the back burner.
I like that woman less every minute.
You and me both.
Definitely. Applying some modern techniques of piracy and exploitation. Things have developed.
Well, the mansion hasn't changed much. Elaine's style is still everywhere.
Wonder if they still have the
Even
rhino
the
in the
booksellers.
back.
They're my books now, as you well know.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Okay, so John Laney, we need John Laney's eye patch, so this is actually
Note
important.
to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
That's unfortunate. We're borrowing it anyway.
Can I borrow a book?
You've got a lot of nerve asking that.
I wonder if there's
You
a
never
limit,
brought back the last book you borrowed.
like there was on the
I had
library.
to buy another copy. You never even apologized.
What did I even borrow? Oh, I mean, that's new material here. I'm sorry. I wonder if we can use the apology frog, actually, the forgiveness frog. I totally forgot.
I totally forgot.
Of course you did. You think like a cow.
How appropriate. I'll probably give her the forgiveness frog, in fact. Let's take a look at what the other books
Does
are
not
before we
include
borrow
Secret of Monkey Island.
everything.
Oh.
Endless Tale of the Voyage That Would Not
I tried
End.
to read
Is it
that once,
mine?
but I couldn't finish it.
No,
Warning, do not try these tricks at home.
apparently not. Ingredients.
It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty. The blurb says it's
Didn't
a
we see
solid
this
and
earlier,
somewhat
at the end of
predictable story
Blank?
about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station.
Ship-to-ship combat strategies by stupid Captain Madison. That seems highly
Thicker than
specific.
I would have imagined.
Okay, we probably can't borrow anything from her just yet, so let's give her the forgiveness frog. I feel like that's going to be helpful here.
This is for you.
It'll totally work.
Giving me a frog?
It's a forgiveness frog, for when words aren't enough.
You haven't even bothered to write anything personal on this frog. That's just
Okay,
rude.
so we'll use the pen
I
with the
reject
frog.
your frog.
We will write on the frog. We haven't actually used the state-of-the-art pen just yet. Dear Carly, I wonder what happens if you pen an apology to somebody else completely. To whom it may concern. I actually wonder if we can do that.
To whom it may concern.
Yeah, let's try to completely mistarget this and see what happens. I bet it's just not going to be a valid solution, but
Sorry for blowing
it's supposed
you
to be
up that
sorry
one
for
time.
losing the book, and I bet the correct solution here is going to be with fear and respect, but you know, we'll just
warmly
go off target first just to see what the interaction is. I bet she's going to reject a frog, but I do want to see the dialogue.
This is for you.
This frog isn't even addressed to me. I don't know what you think you're doing. I reject your frog.
Anyway, let's do it properly. Just to see. I guess you can rewrite this as you go. Scrap my last apology. Yes, you can just erase as
Dear
well.
Carla, sorry for losing the book I borrowed.
Oh, you can keep going on this. Okay. I realize that you are tough and toughness, hard on softness, dedicated to dedication. I don't know if she's keen on bluntness, given that she uses a very sharp sword. Keen on
I
bluntness.
appreciate that
Let's
you're
do that.
keen on bluntness.
Port Elizabeth. Yeah, so the previous string, I don't know if that's correct. We don't have enough information to go on. But Port Elizabeth is something that's signified by the monument to her, the statue to her that we saw earlier. So.
As shown by your actions at Port Elizabeth, please accept my humblest apology.
Even though it really wasn't my fault. You scared the heck out of me.
Scare the heck out of me.
I feel like that would flatter her. Okay, let's see what fits. Oh, we need to offer the frog first. Can we try the frog again?
Can we try the frog again?
Okay, I love how it just gives you a shortcut to go directly.
Dear Carla, I'm impressed, Guybrush. Surprisingly thoughtful. Considering it's you, I'm strangely moved to forgive you for losing my book. And I'll treasure this frog as a memento of the time you did something right.
I guess some of the particulars don't matter too much so long as you get to details like Port Elizabeth correctly. Anyway, let's raid the library.
Can I borrow this book?
All right. I was upset after you lost the last one, but you seemed genuinely sorry, so I guess I'll give you another chance.
Now, can't we
Thanks.
take more than
I
one?
won't let you down. I'll definitely return this. Can I borrow this book?
One book at a time.
One book at a time,
I only
okay.
trust you so far.
I wonder if we can return that immediately then. We'll read it first.
Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
It's probably the one we need, but
Thanks.
given that we were given a hint
Thanks
about
for
the eye
returning
patch
my book.
a little bit earlier.
Maybe you have learned to be responsible. Next time you can just put it in the bookshelf yourself.
Okay, so that's what happens. I was wondering if it would pop an achievement like the key in the prologue, but apparently
Can I
not.
borrow this book?
Fine,
So we'll take it.
fine.
And we'll see what else we can interact with here. Reflect on old
I always
memories.
thought this looked like my old ship, the Sea Monkey.
A little more seaworthy than that. Let's poke it. We can totally make it move. Lovely portrait.
Ugh, looks like Carla wasn't too keen on getting her portrait done.
And that looks a lot better, though.
Edgy.
Very edgy. Okay, all the books over there, and what's over here? Stuffed animal.
I like your stuffed, guess it's a dog?
Please, take that and throw it away. It was a gift from the Earl of Thickwater, who is a contemptible pig.
Oh, I'll take it. I'll grab that, and I'll gladly take it away, and we'll see where we can dump it. Government in
It's
action.
a lot of work being governor.
Okay, what else can we do here? Got the autobiography, squeeze the
It's
stuffed
soft
animal.
and
Interesting.
extra fuzzy.
Wonder if we can take a knife to it. No, we can't. Very nice of this game to just tell me that in advance. Anyway, let's take a look
Helene
at the
told me
portraits.
that's Lauder Neckbeard, second governor of Melee Island. His overly strict morals and overly lax regulatory policies helped make the island what it is today.
Okay, what's over here? Newer
I've
portrait.
seen that same painting on a box of frozen instant cereal.
Very distinguished.
Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
I'd better stay out
of
of
my
there.
bedroom, Threepwood.
What's this little scrap? Pick up the trivia card? Yeah, let's see what it is. couple in the park are feeding a duck. Yeah, so a lot of that material is from this game. Well, keep an eye open for it. Oh wait, did we miss anything here? I feel like I neglected something. We have the books. We have checked everything here, apart from other books perhaps. I feel like we'll need ingredients at some point, but who knows. You can never tell. Snappier to browse the bookshelves this way. Having encountered a lot of those bookshelves in these adventure games previously, where my inclination was to click on absolutely everything. Anyway, here's the Melee Island map. Very dynamic as usual. I wonder if the old Swordmaster house is still somewhere in the forest. Lookout point, shipyard where Stan
This was where the fantastic Flying
keeps his
Fettuccine Brothers
toothbrush.
circus used to be. Nothing left but old tentpole holes. Wow, I could have had a totally different future if I'd stayed with them.
I like that this is acknowledged. We're going to check the forest, of course, but I do want to wander around first and see if there are any other
Meat Hook's
hot
museum is
spots.
gone. So is the cable to his island. It's just as well, given the worldwide rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle shortage.
Oh, wonder if we'll run into Meat Hook at some other point, but apparently not. There is some museum around here, though, I'm told, with the eye patch within, to the deep dark forest where you're sure to get lost without some kind of navigational aid, I'm sure.
Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended.
We can try one out, but before we do that, let's see what is over here. Museum of Pirate Lore? Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Possibly that's where Meat Hook is camping out nowadays. Go this way, admire the purple flowers. Let's see if we can pick them up.
Ooh, purple flowers. These must be catmint, or wisteria, or sweet rocket.
Pick up? Can we? Nope. This way. Can we do anything with the bat? Apparently not. Yikes, a carnivorous plant.
A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth.
Guessing I can't pick this up either, except there's a trivia card, so we'll take that. How many crows are in the list ship's crow's nest? Yeah, we definitely don't have that information yet. That is, in fact, even giving me a taste of what is to come. Anyway, we're definitely going to get ejected out of the maze soon enough, given that we don't have sufficient navigational information.
Oof.
But we might as well explore.
I'm hopelessly lost without a map.
Yes, you are, so let's go to the museum.
Oh, I used to love these when I was 6.
Yes, you did. More trivia. Dee rambles on and on about the anchors. That's still fairly fresh in memory here.
Museum of Pirate Lore. I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days. I think they're illegal now.
That sounds unpleasant. This used to be Carla's place.
Once upon a time, I won a t-shirt right here on the front lawn.
Hi there.
Okay, is it Meat Hook or is it somebody else? Let's see.
Welcome
Oh,
to the
somebody
Melee
new.
Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm Conrad, the curator and docent here. I
Conrad.
also edit the Pirate Times newsletter. Here, take my business card.
Thanks?
The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Authenticity is our watchword and our pledge. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
Okay, so we want the eye patch because when we take it to the Voodoo Lady, we will get some kind of disguise power. Quietly open a display case. We can probably inspect the lock.
There's some very tiny writing on it.
Monocle. And we'll probably be able to grab a key for this as well. Although, I don't know if we'd have the same solution here. It seems like it would be a little redundant,
Numbers are a
perhaps.
little clearer, but still too tiny to read.
Okay, so we need some additional magnification. Read the
Eye
plot.
patch worn by Captain John Laney, the Pirate of 1,000 Faces.
Neat little nod there to Joseph Campbell's Hero of 1,000 Faces. bit of a Lucasfilm connection there too, if you know about its influence on Star Wars. That does look familiar.
The one with the ore. Yeah, the coffin had a lot of water damage when I got it from the voodoo lady in town. But I managed to restore it. It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
The water damage is actually from the swamp on Scab Island.
Unlikely. The prison in question is nowhere near Scab Island.
I'm just
the
trying to
coffin
help.
goes
Thanks.
places.
I've got it under control.
I don't think we can just grab the ore to make a joke about a hook. Let's do it.
Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook. Supposedly he was ambidextrous.
Is Meat Hook
Also,
gone now?
He used to live right here, on Melee.
What happened to good old Meat Hook?
Tell me about this hunk of wood.
That's an original plank from the Golden Hind, autographed by Francis Drake himself.
I find that a little dubious, but okay. Poke, poke, poke. I bet we can eventually do something with that. Maybe set it on fire or something. Let's read the
Pirate
business card.
Times. Editor Conrad Lee. Ready to publish your unrecognized genius.
So we'll eventually bring something in for publication, I bet. Coffin and ore, yeah, that's going to be the same thing here. That's seen better
What was
days.
this cinder you've got on the wall?
Oh, that. Yeah,
Seems like it was
that
something
was
precious.
an unsent love letter, written by Elaine Marley, while she was governor of the island.
Oh, to whom, I wonder?
Elaine? The recipient was referred to only as Plunder Bunny.
That's me!
It was a really touching letter. Unfortunately, I put the candle too close to it.
What did it say? Tell me what she said.
I feel like this
Oh,
guy
you know,
owes me a
love
forgiveness
letter
frog.
stuff. Honestly, I don't remember a word of it, but it was touching.
Thanks a lot.
We can just ask Elaine if she remembers. Maybe if you ask again.
Actually, I think I'd rather not hear about that again.
But I would like to hear that again, rather. Talks to the guard parrot. Let's look. Oh, yes, that's right. There are the crackers that are in the locksmith's shop. That's going to be useful here. If we can get a hand on the crackers.
That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. What do you feed it?
Thieves, mostly.
Good to know. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it.
We'll feed it eventually. It looks like it's probably going to guard the eye patch, in fact. I feel like it's part of a very elaborate security system. Hardly
What's the
museum
significance
worthy.
of the peg leg?
That belonged to the infamous Peg Leg Patty. She used to hide a spare cutlass in it, in case of capture. Sadly, that's the reason she's no longer with us.
The poster I made. Oh, yes. So, except the thing with the Kate capsized poster is that it's actually possible to revert it to the Guybrush poster in Monkey Island 2. And I would know that because I tried that just to see how the game would compound a number of charges that were laid against Guybrush for his lengthy record of criminal activity.
What's the story with the wanted poster?
That is the earliest known wanted poster for
Chuck's
Captain
Revenge.
Kate Capsize. You can tell how notorious she was by the huge number of crimes listed there. Very impressive. I got it from a collector on Fat Island.
Those are my own crimes, actually. I was pretty much public enemy #1 on Fat Island at the time.
Spoiler
I stuck
alert.
Kate's picture on there so she'd get thrown in jail.
Oh, interesting. So,
That would never work. Nobody's that clueless in real life.
You don't believe me?
It's not a question of belief.
it gives
Never mind.
you
It's not important.
spoiler alert as text there. And well, partly as a joke, but also as an acknowledgement of the fact that it's a puzzle solution in Monkey Island 2. Actually, maybe we even wanted a trickier ones. Maybe it's obvious to people, but definitely something that was one of the more problematic solutions for me when I replayed the game on the basis of no memory. Quietly open the case. I mean, it's locked, so we won't be able to, but I kind of want to see what the
The
interaction
display
will be.
case is locked.
I bet it'll set off the parrot.
What's this melted lump of metal?
It used to be a mug. It was melted by some kind of acid.
Definitely
it
my
was found
fault.
in the Melee jail many years ago, after an incident where like 20 pirates escaped.
Hey, I did that. I had
It
to
was
keep
just
pouring
Otis,
the
but okay.
grog from
Oh,
mug
there's
to
more
mug
spoiler
because
alert.
it was melting them. I had an armload of mugs, and I juggled them all the way from the scum bar to the jail. Also, I could get Otis to join my crew. Not my greatest decision in retrospect.
That's a pretty wild story.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure you are, but it just doesn't quite square with the official record. So it's hard to substantiate.
Substantiate? You've got an eyewitness.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously inaccurate. Human memory is plastic and suggestible.
Not yours, apparently.
No, of course not. I deal in facts.
Well, no convincing him for now, and no picking up the melted mug either, but we'll see what other evidence there is of our trail of destruction on Melee Island. We can definitely interact with this thing. Isn't that part of my old map? Yes, it is.
That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure
So yeah, this
of
acknowledges
Big Whoop. I got
Monkey
it from the
Island too.
cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he
Something
was
that we
somehow
were
involved in the search for Big Whoop.
thinking about earlier.
All Wally managed to do was get kidnapped.
Well, I
by
mean,
LeChuck's
Wally's
henchmen.
presence, of course,
That's
is just
not the way
acknowledgement
he
in
tells
itself.
You should think about hiring a research assistant.
Oh, I did. Unpaid, of course. Intern.
Can we reminisce further?
About the map?
That's one.
Okay, same dialogue. What's a gear doing in a pirate
Why do
museum?
you have this big gear?
It's from the Melee Clock Tower, stolen during a pirate raid nearly 75 years ago. It was recently found at an inn on St. Martin, where it was being used to mill corn. I traded some old furniture for it that we had in the back room.
Has anyone thought about putting it back in the clock?
Nah. If the clock started working, it would only confuse people.
Interestingly, this game between St. Martin and, of course, Florida, as we saw earlier in the locksmith shop, does begin to reference some real-world geography in relation to the lands of Monkey Island. Can we talk to museum creator? Yes, we can. I wonder if we can offer the eye patch book, but we'll think about that. We'll look at the note from LeChuck as well. Let's talk through everything.
No kidding? Wow! You named after Guybrush Threepwood?
I am.
I guess you could say that.
And
Nice.
so is my child.
I'm going to find the legendary secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, that's excellent! Super retro! If you need a place to display it, I know a convenient museum.
Your
Very
museum
quaint.
is quaint.
Thanks. It's been a personal passion of mine. I'm nuts about old-timey pirate stuff.
Old-timey?
Being around it really makes you feel like you're a part of something. Doesn't it?
I am part of something.
Exactly.
No respect from this kid. Any of these things valuable? Oh, some of them definitely are. Like that note that's been burnt up.
Are any of these things valuable?
The security parrot isn't just here
Security
to look
parrot.
piratey. John Laney's eye patch
Okay.
is irreplaceable. It's the highlight of the collection. Amazingly, I got it at a yard sale. They didn't know what they had.
We definitely need to feed it a cracker.
I don't suppose you have a mop from a famous pirate swabby on display?
Mr. Gunny,
I've
welcome.
been trying to get the cook down at the scum bar to donate his, but he won't part with it.
Hope you're doing well, Mr. Gunny. Don't know if you've played through all of this already yourself.
Do you have maps of the forest here?
No, that's not really what we do. Try the map shop in town?
And, well, I mean, we'll try that later on.
Tell me about that
I
newsletter
would like to
of yours.
subscribe to your
Pirate
newsletter.
Times. We publish pirate news, pirate stories, pirate poetry, all things piratey, really.
How does that even work? Wearing a peg leg despite having both of your original legs, where does it even go?
I see you wear a peg leg despite having both of your original legs.
Just part of the docent's outfit for the tourists. Kids always want to try it on.
That's charming and creepy at the same time.
This is a museum for people who think attacking ships and murdering the crew for profit sounds fun.
It is
Touche.
fun. I feel like Guybrush himself is the target audience here.
I'll have a look around.
Please do.
Okay, so we didn't look at LeChuck's note over here. I was able to target it earlier. Ah, there we go. That's a note LeChuck left when he kidnapped Elaine.
How on earth do you have that note?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. That was found tucked inside of a book at the Fat Island Library. It's the actual note left by the ghost pirate LeChuck when he kidnapped Governor Marley.
I know what it is. The lookout handed it to me just before I finished my 3 trials. I was crushed, but undaunted. I gathered a crew and I sailed to Monkey Island to save her. Not that she needed it, as it turned out.
Wow, man, you're really into this. I've got a role-playing group on Thursday nights.
This is absurd. It's like this whole wall is stuff from my personal adventures, but somehow I'm not even mentioned in your stories.
That's what's so great about this museum. Everyone makes their own connections with the exhibits, and it's highly personal and different for everyone.
That's not what I'm trying to say at all.
That's okay. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what the exhibits tell you.
Fine.
Okay. Let's see if we have anything we can interact with just yet. There is the John Laney book, which we may be able to use in some capacity. Maybe not yet. Okay. Anything else, though? It looks like the knife will be something that... there was some kind of clue earlier that suggested that we'll be maybe using it to break into this thing here. Oh, probably just a long litany of things that run you into trouble with liability. We have the waiver for the knife. Let's see what's in the back room. Does that look like instant cracker mix? I think it is, but it totally is instant cracker mix. Parrot
It's
food.
cracker mix. Some assembly required.
We'll need some water for that, I'm sure.
Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet.
And let's take a look at trivia. How many pirates are in the scum bar at the beginning? So there were 4 out front, and there were the 3 that are the new pirate leaders. I feel like the answer is 7. We could be wrong. We haven't gotten the wrong one yet, so we'll see what it actually looks like when you're incorrect. Oh no, okay. Oh, so you lose the card. Okay, I guess we have to reobtain it somehow. Do we get a chance to reobtain it? Maybe not yet. So, we should actually not pick up those cards, or rather, we should not answer the questions unless we can answer that with certainty. Because then you just straight up lose the card and you lose your chance to engage with it. So, I wonder how the collection is going to be completed in the long run then. Anyway, we need some assembly here on
Especially fortified for the healthy parrot diet.
this thing here. I doubt we can use it directly. It will let me try, but it's probably going to fail unless
It doesn't seem interested.
have some kind of mix here. Possibly we could swap it with the other crackers in the locksmith shop, but we'll...
Tell me again about the hook.
That
See if we
once
can
belonged to
grab
the
the
Dread
hook.
Pirate Meat Hook.
Okay, guess not. So, we're going to need to see about breaking into this once we have A, additional magnification, and B, a way to deal with the parrot, likely with more crackers. I guess that must be pretty valuable.
What can you tell me about this eye patch?
That's the pride of the collection. It belonged
I
to
don't think we
Captain
actually asked
John
about it.
Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces.
Did we? Oh yes, 1,000 faces,
Supposedly,
that's right.
it had voodoo powers that would disguise him. I tried it on though, and nothing happened.
Yeah, but we need the voodoo lady to work on it. So, it's pretty clear.
Eye patch worn by Captain John.
That's right. Okay, let's leave and we'll deal with that as we go. So I think I've explored the extent of what I'm able to at this point, which means that we need to start piecing some of this together. We'll need a map for
dark
the
forest
forest.
ahead is deadly and
We'll probably need to satisfy some kind of condition. Oh no, we still need to grab the toothbrush for Stan. So we should probably do that first. But I'm also curious about whether we can ask Wally for the forest map right away, and what kind of condition will be set for that. He was on the low street. Oh yeah, we haven't done anything with the lady at the window either. And we can always grab more monocles. We can totally take another one. Maybe we can do double magnification.
Better to have one for each eye.
If you say so.
I bet we can do a double magnification if we use the monocles with each other.
If one monocle is good, 2 is better.
Great. Okay, we'll use that.
This was a good
Congratulate yourself.
idea. They magnify stuff even better since I stuck them together.
Very clever. Let's ask about the map.
Hey, Wally. I'm looking for a map through the forest.
What
Can I
are you
afford it?
trying to find in the forest?
I don't know. Nothing in particular.
Then having a map won't really be any different than wandering around lost, will it?
Yeah, but, I mean, well, never mind.
I don't buy that argument. Melee
Melee
clock is still
clock is still
broken.
broken.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Anyway, we're going to figure out the lock over at the museum. So let's do that. grab the serial number for a key. Oh yeah, we can use the run button. I have to remember that there is one. Anyway, double monocle, let's use it.
Ah, crystal clear.
Very, very
I'll
clear.
just write that down.
And we'll pass it on. Still need to deal with this guy, but we'll figure out what to do with the cracker mix
Especially
here.
fortified for the healthy parrot diet.
Probably some water, but
This is the one for the museum display.
we'll take a look. Once we have the opportunity. For now, let's get back into some... what was it, locksmithing or mapping? Oh yes, locksmithing. I believe this was it.
Welcome back.
Hiya.
Okay. Grab this and...
Can you make me a key from this
That's
serial
simple
number?
enough.
Sure. This will be for a high-end display case. You a collector?
Yeah. Stamps.
Okay, so we can break it in, but we still need to deal with the parrot, so let's see if we can do something about the parrot mix. Maybe offer that so we can... Yeah, we can totally offer the cracker mix and perhaps take the
I found some
crackers in
cracker
return.
mix. You could bake fresh crackers in your furnace.
Thanks. The ones on the plate were getting a bit stale. Take
Excellent.
some if you want.
Don't mind if I do.
Easy enough. Now, can we feed this parrot? We probably can. Oh, there's a trivia card once again. Wonder if it's something that we missed previously. Let's take a look. How many dead pirates are in the abandoned camp in Terror Island? Yeah, we haven't seen any of this yet. Might even spoil some of this adventure, to be honest. So maybe we should just save the trivia cards for later instead of just punching them all in at a moment's notice.
I've got enough to last me.
Enough to last. Okay, fine. We'll feed everybody.
It already looks well fed.
Well fed? Okay. Now we should be able to do the eye patch thing then pretty quickly, given that we have a way to deal with the lock and the parrot at once. Okay, that seems simple enough. Let's feed. Did we talk to the parrot or did we just observe?
It's a working parrot. I shouldn't
yes,
bother
right.
it.
We attempted that earlier. Now, it seems to be sufficiently distracted, so... Sticker about a key, yeah, we'll do that. Will I be interrupted? No, I won't. The guard parrot will not even do anything since we dealt with that already. I suppose we should return the book then, given that we're not using it.
What do you expect me to do, Elaine? Issue a proclamation?
Of course not, Carla. We'll need to generate public support. I'm working on that.
People around here don't like any kind of restrictions,
Interesting
even if
keys.
it's for their own good.
But
But
the
we
figure on
can
the left.
put a requirement on ships traveling to the north. There's already a customs check, so the infrastructure is all in place.
But it's a start. Scurvy's a big problem. Let's do all we can.
Agreed.
I've come a long way. Is there anything else on the agenda?
Coffee?
I could do with some coffee. Yeah, we eventually will need to map out the forest. What was Wally telling me about the forest map earlier? Oh yes, that we need some kind of objective there first before we have any particular reason to be there, so let's go back to the Governor's Mansion and return the book and possibly meet everybody who's having their meeting there themselves. And possibly grab another book while we're at it. So let's return John Laney. Unless we need it for the voodoo lady. In fact, actually, let's keep it for now because we don't know what the voodoo procedure will require other than the eye patch itself. So, back to Low Street if we can. Interesting what a signature feature it is of the Monkey Island series to have the overworld map. And yeah, I guess we didn't really talk about the sign earlier. We'll do the eye patch last. Let's talk first.
Your sign says you're going out of business. Or is this one of those not really going out of business sales?
She's going out of business.
There is a new dark magic on the rise in the Caribbean. It has many adherents, particularly among the young. There is little demand for my talents or my wares. Business is terrible, and there are other factors. Captain Madison desires this location. That it belongs to me will be of little help against her financial and political powers.
Whoa, back up. Dark magic, you said?
I did.
Okay, so one little point of note here is that depending on the characters and voice actors, some people in this game say Caribbean and some others say Caribbean. Now, there actually is a joke about this in a song that Judy Garland sings in the film The Pirate from, I think, 1948 or 49. Anyway, it's a musical with Judy Garland and Gene Kelly with a Cole Porter lyric that refers to the Caribbean, or if you prefer, the Caribbean Sea. It's just the first thing that comes to mind in this context. How does dark magic work? Let's ask about that.
How does dark magic work?
Runes, chemicals, the power of secrets. I am no expert. It's too sterile for my tastes. I like things messy and theatrical.
Messy is good.
I don't suppose you sell mops.
I cannot guide you on matters of mops.
Yeah, we know that already.
Master is the
We found the
cook
mop
at the
a
scum
long
bar.
time ago, but we need to distract the cook.
Can
Who is
you
Elaine?
use your talents to tell me how Elaine is right now?
She is always close, no matter the distance.
Do your answers ever make sense?
There are no answers, only questions that are finished.
Well, that totally makes sense.
Are you able to see what LeChuck is up to?
Your goals and the goals of LeChuck are aligned, as always. But his intentions are darker. He would use the secret to do terrible things.
Dark-er? What's that supposed to mean?
LeChuck must not acquire the secret.
No argument there.
Okay. What is the
this the
voodoo
year
lady's
when
name?
You finally tell me your name? It's become almost a running gag between us. But it's awkward, like when your glass is empty but you keep trying to drink out of it over and over.
It is Corina.
Oh, okay, that's quick.
Karina. Nice.
That was really
Somehow
simple,
it was
actually.
more exciting before I knew that.
That is true of many things.
I believe that's going to be true of the secret of Monkey Island as well. Little spot of foreshadowing here.
Got any other mystical advice or information for me? Stock tips or something?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about the eye patch.
Can you charge John Laney's eye patch up for me?
Ah, the
What else do we
famous
need?
eye patch disguise
Possibly the
of
book,
John
possibly
Laney.
nothing.
As I suspected, the magic has long since drained away.
Good. Great. So, can you charge it up again?
I can.
If I totally need the book, I
if
think.
you bring me one more thing.
Or not.
A particular charm of great power.
You couldn't have told me this earlier?
I could have. You must bring me the bite of 1,000 needles. Then I will recharge your eye patch.
The bite of 1,000 needles. Can you be a tiny bit more specific?
No.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
Bite of 1,000 Needles. Would that be... I think we bought the knife here in this
very
shop.
sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife.
It's not going to be the knife, okay. It's not going to be the string. I doubt it's a string anyway. I feel like that's something that we're going to get from the forest, which means that we have a reason to get the map from Wally. Bite of 1,000 Needles. Makes a lot of sense, I think. Let's ask him about that.
Hey, Wally.
Nope, we don't get to talk to him about that yet, so I guess not.
Huh, never seen one of those before.
Well, Bite of 1,000 Needles, we will think about that. That's something that the bookshelf could help with. There's also that lady overlooking the street here that we haven't really interacted with yet. Whitey Bones, that's right.
Once you have a key, you've got to open the door.
Very sensible.
Things are not what they seem.
Let's listen to a couple of different strings here in case
keys
there's
are gold.
anything useful.
It's the way of keys.
Oh yes, we still have to go to Stan's to pick up that toothbrush. That seems to be
No one ever works together.
most available
All want their
course
own
of action for me at the moment. So we'll go for that instead. Let's deal with Stan before we get to anything else. There's the lookout too. We haven't been back there in a while, but we'll have to deal with that later on.
Wow, that's worse than I imagined.
Yeah, nothing here anymore, I guess.
The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush?
It totally is an old toothbrush, but it looks like we can't pick anything up through this, so what is the note?
The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day.
Apparently the toothbrush is still in there, though, so we should see what we can do. Which of these is not in the park? The anchor was there, the well was there, seesaw and swing. I actually don't know between the seesaw and swing. Because I don't believe I was paying attention to that. There we go.
It says, Tan's previously owned vessels. So sad. Stan's used to be the best place to buy used ships.
I wonder if we can grab the S somewhere. I feel like I disagreed with some of the pricing previously, but, you know, Guybrush may have warm memories of acquiring the sea monkey, so who knows.
I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessels like a carnival.
I bet we can light them up again.
There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships.
Buckets? Strange
It's
mess.
a dried up old sea sponge.
We'll take it.
Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now.
Okay, what can we do with this
Good for
sponge?
relieving stress.
Good for relieving stress, alright. We'll have to think about what that will interact with.
This used to be such a bright, cheery place.
Not anymore.
There was a time when every mooring would be filled. Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now.
Okay, so either we derust it or we just can't pick it up at all.
It's sad to see the shipyard like this.
What about the moon?
It always looks bigger on this side of the island.
Okay. So we need to grab the toothbrush, but we can't currently open this, apparently, so...
The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush?
Read the note again, just in case.
The
Let's
assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action
see
lawsuit.
what we can do.
Have a nice day.
Or we can go back to Stan and tell him about the current state of things, in case it makes any difference. Let's go High Street. Take a look at the jail cell.
Hey, kid!
Now, what does Stan have to say for himself?
Hey, Stan!
Hello there, son!
I've been to the shipyard. Your office is all boarded up. with your toothbrush sealed inside, presumably.
Well, don't worry yourself about it then, son. I found a dead centipede in the corner that should do until they let me out.
I feel like he probably shouldn't use that as a toothbrush unless he didn't intend to use the brush as a brush to begin with, but...
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
See you later.
Yep.
Okay, let's see what we can do. So we've dealt with a lot. We've got a couple of objects in the museum. I would like to ideally have a map to the forest, but we should also deal with the mob. And I feel like we should see how our range of interactions has been altered when it comes to the cook. So let's go back to the cook first before we do anything else. Also haven't talked to the lookout in a while. Oh, some of names. Oh yeah, I totally miscounted.
Hi,
Number of
Kyle.
pirates here.
Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was
Ask me about
declared a
Loom.
historical landmark.
Can we still ask him about Loom? Yes, we can.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Okay.
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
I mean,
My
we would.
grog-riddled body is fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
We wouldn't have been able to recognize him otherwise, I think, without
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom.
still
For
advisory
old time's
to
sake.
ask about
Beat
Loom.
it.
Say it.
No!
Let's make him. I bet there's an achievement.
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic. Stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes, sophisticated score, and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Yes.
Now get lost.
And yes, of course, there was an achievement. That was extremely satisfying. I actually kind of wonder how it compares to whatever voice acting they introduced to the Secret of Monkey Island remaster. Regardless,
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married. These kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
I'm gonna find the secret of
we're
Monkey
going
Island.
to find a secret.
Wanna come?
I heard the secret is just some marketing gimmick Stan thought up.
It probably
Only the
is.
gullible and naive would go looking for it.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stan doesn't currently really stand to benefit.
Don't look
Quite
now,
so
but
much.
I think there's a leech on your chin.
I have it.
What's that you're drinking?
Large, get lost.
Nice hat pin.
It's the emblem of a secret society I belong to.
Really?
Don't be ridiculous.
So I wonder if we can do anything new with the pirate leaders here. Not that they've been particularly helpful. Try again.
Are
Yeah.
you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Let's pretend I was really considering this. What sort of pirate qualifications have you got, exactly?
I stole the eye patch. Let's go through the whole list.
I completed the 3 trials.
Trials?
It's how they used to make their bones in the old days.
Well, I was a director of combat operations for the British Navy, and I've written 2 books on ship-to-ship tactics.
Ah, and that's the
I am a
library.
founding member and co-director of the Red Fleet
that will
and
come in
hold
handy.
records for civilian casualties from San Domingo to Venezuela.
I'm an expert in 17 forms of hand-to-hand combat, 3 of which I invented. I served with Bellamy, Teach, and Roberts before they each met an untimely end that I might have had nothing to do with.
Just so you know, this is the kind of resume we expect.
Well, that's very impressive. Overqualified perhaps, but none of them
Are you sure I
defeated
can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey
LeChuck.
Island?
Yes.
Oh, okay, we don't actually get to try the other dialogue options. That's too bad.
Back my expedition
But I
to
guess the
Monkey
response
Island?
would have been similar.
Yes.
That's too bad. Wanted to talk to them some more. Okay, so the cook is here. What was the interaction with the mop again? Let's see, just in case. Surreptitiously abscond with the mop. He's totally going to notice unless I distract him. But we can
I
try.
said not to touch that. You don't use someone else's mop.
I guess not.
The mop is the formal tool of a cook. Not as clumsy or random as a dish rag. An elegant tool for a more civilized cleaning. You cannot hope to succeed with the mop of another.
I can't?
You must construct your own. A single, perfect instrument that you will keep and use for a lifetime.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Once you build it, the mop will become your constant companion, your tool, and a ready means of defense against spills of all kinds.
Build it?
So how shall we make one?
The wood is the heart of the handle. The heart is the handle of the cook. You are one.
Not helpful so far.
You must find a particular tree. A tree uniquely suited
that's our
to
impetus
the
for
handles of mops.
finding the
Carve
forest
your
map.
handle from a limb of that tree.
And as far as the head of the mop goes, I feel like we
Any questions?
already heard about the object that we'll need for that. I just don't recall its name for the head of the mop. Anyway,
How do I find
it's
the
going to be in
mop
the
handle?
woods. We'll get the map for
I
it.
can't tell you exactly where it is.
This game so far is
because this
very
is your
generous
own
about hinting,
personal
but
journey.
a lot of this can be fairly readily inferred.
What kind of wood is the tree?
That is something you must discover for yourself.
And the head of the
What
mop.
about the head of the mop?
Oh, you have to have one, of course, but pretty much anything will do. It's mostly about the handle.
Are you sure I can't just buy a mop? Yours, for example.
No, you've got to make one. Trust me on this.
They are unique and non-transferable,
Okay,
so let's
guess I'll do it.
grab that map and see what we
What's
can
wrong?
do.
You gave the story the wrong title. It should be called Mop Quest. When do we get to the piratey parts?
Well, even the coolest professions involve more mopping up than you would think. It seemed crazy to me at the time, too. But don't forget, it was all so I could board a ship, take command, and sail to Monkey Island. But first, I had to make a mop.
Alright, let's see about that mop. Should be fairly simple. I feel like this is something that we should be able to take at some point too, once we've created the right circumstances for ourselves to pilfer the picture. Oh, can I ask him about Loom again? I want to see if I can. Let's see if we can bug him once more.
You again? I know you.
Nice talking
Nope,
to you.
guess not.
Yeah.
Too bad. We've heard about Loom at this point. Okay. Chuck is nearly finished loading this ship. Can I observe that?
It'll be my ship soon enough.
Make a remark about it. Very cutting and incisive remark. Let's take a look at the map shop. Get the forest map. And see about its functionality
Hey,
as a
Wally.
navigational aid.
I'm looking for a tree to make a stupid mop from. Have you got a map for that?
So the cook has sent you on one of his spiritual journeys? Been a while since I made one of those mop tree maps. What kind of tree is it again?
We
I don't
haven't
know.
been
A wood
told.
one?
That's okay. Just bring me a sliver of the wood and I can
Sliver
work
of
it
the
out
wood,
from
okay.
there. I'm that good.
So we're going to take a
Bye.
knife to the other mop then. That seems sensible. Once again, totally violates the warranty on the knife, but we don't care. Whatever gets you past the puzzle. I feel like he's not going to appreciate that though.
Fancy.
And we haven't talked to this guy.
Hi.
Are you my waiter? I want the excellent dish I had at the
governor's mansion last week. I don't know what it's called, but it was sort of, you know, a hot food.
Yeah, but I'm not...
It had ingredients in it or something.
I'm not your waiter.
So there was the ingredients book.
Cook this, but he still hasn't brought me my dinner.
I don't work here. I'm not a waiter.
Hop to it!
Right away, sir.
Okay, the ingredients book in the mansion I think is going to be relevant here. So we'll take that in a bit, but first, before we do anything of the sort, we're going to see about carving off a little bit of this mob. Carve
Stay
mop
away
handle?
from my mop.
Okay, we need to distract him somehow.
Remind me never to eat here again.
Stand near the stove, sniff. Maybe I should drop
I remember
something
that
in here.
stench as if it were yesterday.
Or distract him by some other means.
The plaque says, in memory of looming seagulls of old.
It's a wooden seagull. I wonder if we can carve off of this guy instead. Nope, doesn't look like it. Anything that we can dump into the pot? Maybe. Squeeze the sponge. You know what? If we squeeze the sponge, we can probably wet the floor or something and get him to mop up. Who knows?
It's good for relieving stress.
I feel like we need to use it in conjunction with something else, though. Or not. So now we need to divert his attention to carve the mop. And yeah, we need the cook to be busy. The way to keep him busy is to give him the ingredients book, perhaps, from the mansion, because this fellow here has signaled that. So let's go back to the mansion, grab the book, and then proceed from there. The long way. But that's what the run button is for. So we'll return the eye patch book.
Thanks.
Thanks for returning my book.
Can I
We'll
borrow
borrow
this book?
ingredients.
Fine, fine.
Okay, so when you borrow one directly, it also just returns the one that you've checked out. Which is great, because we're going to examine the ingredients.
It's a cookbook. It has...
We'll start with the difficulty. Luckily, the cook can likely take care of that. We'll distract him. We'll try to steal the picture. And, of course, carve from the mop, although I'm sure there's a reason that we can't just take the mop ourselves, probably because it does need to be a compatible instrument. As has already been explained to us. So, can we give the ingredients book to this fellow here? Or do we need to give it to the chef? Show the
Pardon me,
cookbook.
sir,
There we go.
but you have the look of a man who is interested in cookbooks.
Oh, dear no. Trade manuals are frightfully dull.
You know what? We'll give the cookbook to the cook.
I found this at the governor's mansion.
Wow, Guybrush. I don't know how you knew I needed this, but the mystery dish must be in there. I have no idea which one it'll be, so I'll just have to make them all. I'd better get to work. Thanks, Guybrush.
Okay, that should be a pretty substantial distraction. Let's take the picture. And what's behind that? Not much. Let's do the carving.
This will be excellent.
See if he notices. Alright, that settles the map, and
He'll
then
never complain again.
appreciate
It's
the painting.
torn and ugly, but strangely compelling.
Well,
I
we'll
carved
eventually
it off the cook's mop handle. Good times.
get some use out of it, I'm sure.
Indeed.
Not sure what we used a roaring fire for, but we'll deal with it in good time. Now, should I just leave this way instead? Probably faster to do so.
Re-elect Governor Carla. She's keen on bluntness.
Oh, she's keen on bluntness. Yeah, that's right. That was the clue for the keen on bluntness line that I very fortunately chose earlier. I guess that must have been at the back of my memory, given that we had seen that poster previously, although I was also kind of inferring that from her past as a sword fighter. Complain about the pirate leaders, let's do that.
Hi again. Oh, those new
Yes,
pirate
yes, yes.
leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course.
Mr.
Okay.
Electrodude,
no,
welcome.
Probably not.
Update the lookout on my plans? Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm thinking about going on LeChuck's expedition after all.
I'm glad to hear you decided to patch things up.
No, he doesn't want me on the ship. I'm blacklisted. I'm gonna have to go in disguise.
These Shakespearean comedies just write themselves.
Very appropriate for this stream, of course. Let's
See
talk
anything
some more.
interesting out
Why
there?
not?
Change. The future.
Are those the names of ships? All I can see is open water.
It's what I named my cataracts.
Huh.
Right, because this fellow has vision issues.
Hi there, little guy.
Hi.
I wonder if I can feed little guy a cracker. Might as well try it. No, we can't, surprisingly enough. Not a parrot, I guess. Let's pick up the card. Let's see if we can answer the question. How many parrots are next to this scurvy dog shack? I feel like it was one. Answer 10 trivia questions correctly. Great, because we've lost one card so far. So, helps to pay a little bit of attention here. As we, oh yes, we need to get the map from Wally before we proceed. I've forgotten that completely. Because we have the wood. That's correct.
Hey, Wally. I found this sliver of wood. Can you use this to make the map to the mop tree?
Looks legit. I'll see what I can do.
10 minutes, not bad. Pretty good turnaround time.
Here it is.
Thanks, Wally.
Okay. Do we have the map in the inventory already? Yes, we do. Open the map to the map tree. X marks the spot. Not that we have anything to dig with. So yeah, the starting point is down below. That is Carla's house, which is now the museum. Well, let's just follow the map. Should be fairly simple. Unless there's some kind of trick to it. But it seems pretty straightforward to me. Okay, to the forest. Let's take a look at this. Whoops. Upright, upright. For the first couple of steps. And can we pick anything up here? We tried mushrooms previously.
Purple flowers.
Okay. Shrooms.
Ooh, purple flowers. These must... I guess I lost my way.
Does this game have the insult sword fighting? Not yet, it doesn't. But it does have some, like, not in its full form, but it does have some references to it, shall we say, so far. You don't engage in the same minigame directly. I'm sure there will be maybe some kind of variation on it. I'm thinking about how there was the orange rhyming variant of the insult sword fighting in Monkey Island 3. Also, Zankoth, I was just saying earlier today, I replayed Monkey Island 1 and 2 before getting to this game, and I noticed for the first time that the science fiction novelist Orson Scott Card actually has a credit for having worked on some of the sword fight insults originally. And looking into that, I think it's because it was actually his daughter who originally came up with You Fight Like a Dairy Farmer in the first game.
Warning. The dark forest ahead
More than
is
that, it's a
deadly
little
and
bit
twisty.
unclear. I haven't
Maps are highly
figured out
recommended.
exactly who did what yet. Maps are highly recommended. Yeah, we've been here already. What have I done here? Oh, right. Did we get lost already? Yeah, pirate lore. Yeah, we got spat out the front because I wasn't paying attention, I think. Up, right, up, right, up. Right? And then Yeah, that's... I think I made a mistake somewhere.
I guess I lost my
Hey, wait,
way.
no, I made a mistake there. Up, right, and then I thought it was up. How did I make a mistake here? Let's be careful.
I guess I lost
Oh,
my
wait,
way.
hang on. I have the map. How am I messing this up? Up, right, up. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, we probably need to follow the flower color. That's what it is. It's not the direction, it's the flower color upon the exit. So the fact that... Yeah, because some of these rooms are actually reversed. We followed a carnivorous plant in this room then. Because this room is flipped. It's totally the plant color. And then we go shroom, purple, and then shroom. Yeah. And then let's see what lies.
Guess I lost my way.
Yeah, wait. You lost your way. How? Oh no, because we probably need to see how we exited. Anyway, let's do this again. Yeah, because directionally it fits initially. Shroom. Purple. And I thought it was shroom next, but let's take a look. Should be shroom. Wonder how we messed that up. But then it just kicked me out last time. Because we come in through purple. Hang on. Yeah, because these nodes don't actually match, which means I should... yeah, because this will kick me out, I think.
Guess I lost my way.
Let's pay attention here to the ones that are mismatched on the path. Because you go carnivorous and then it spits you out to mushroom, right? Should be correct. Yeah, that's right. So we need to see what part of the path we're matching, because it's not necessarily going to be the same thing the whole way through. Yeah, so this one you go back. Go to shroom. The shroom to carnivorous. Didn't we determine though that would be going purple? It's purple to purple, which is very curious. Guess we should connect up.
I guess I lost my way.
Hang on. I think we might actually need to go backwards there then. Yeah, we know the early route here. This is all fine so far. I think maybe we go back out towards purple. Let me take a look here. Because aren't we at the second last one at this point? Purple. There we go. I totally lost count already. And then it's going to be shroom and then purple, I believe. Except we don't have shrooms here. So, what do we do? Yeah, we came out near the back. So we don't have shrooms on this screen, but I think we just go purple again. Purple again. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, I guess some of these actually are two-way paths, but let me think about that. Oh, we should be near the end at this point. Don't have a shroom over here. Any other interactables that we need to know about? Maybe I was misreading to do the start and end points. We got pretty far in this, though. Yeah, let's go shroom then, since that's apparently the...
I guess I lost my
way.
way.
No. Never mind. We've made a fair ways at this point, though.
I guess I lost my
hang
way.
on. That was one where you double back. I do remember that. Yeah, it totally changes on you a little bit. So that was carnivorous to purple. Second one there, okay. And then it was just the shrooms at this point, though. I'm looking at how there is a start point and an end point for some of these. So, for example, you go here, it should kick you. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think I have a better idea of how to read this. And this is new material here. So that was where we matched the two consecutive carnivorous plants. So these little pods and islands actually don't matter. It's following the order of each object. Which means that we're going to go shroom purple at this point.
I guess I lost my way.
Never mind. Lost track here. So let's take a look at this first. Yeah. Sequence. You understood that. Also understood that going mushroom here seems to work. Hang on. Now there's a frog over here. That's not right. Oh yeah, because this is just the original entrance. Yeah. I see. Don't always recognize this stuff. Ah, okay, so going backwards doesn't actually do the thing I wanted.
I guess I lost my way.
Hang on here. Let's figure out how to read this. We understood the original branch. We understood how to go this to presumably mushroom. Yeah, that's correct. And it plays a few tricks on you as you go along. I'm gonna go carnivorous over here. Carnivorous purple, and then carnivorous. Should be this way. And then we should go mushroom at this point. Shroom to shroom, we need to go purple to carnivorous. Yeah, I think I just lost track earlier, that's all. Shroom to purple. shroom to shroom if we find it. Fairly simple, you just keep track of what it is you're doing. Purple to purple. No, sorry, purple to shroom and then purple. This should be it. There we go. Here's the clearing. Frisky squirrels.
Hey, little fella.
Okay, so we'll need to do some kind of carving. Ooh, adorable hedgehogs.
Mind your mom.
Very nice.
Little prickly kids. It's like there's a welcoming committee. Wow! The distinctive shape tells me this is the rare, endangered Melee Island mop handle tree.
Very stylish. Alright, we'll probably need to carve something off of it. So we have the knife. We can also see what else we can interact with here.
It's like there's a welcoming committee.
Yeah, let's not leave the forest yet. Let's actually do a carving. Hack off a branch, we'll do that. Surely nothing can go wrong with violating the warranty. Several hours later. That's okay, we'll take our time. I may have made a bit of a disaster of that. Don't know how we're going to make a mop. With these little fragments of bark. We're going to have a spectacular mop. Now we'll need to figure out the mop head as well. We'll manage to put something together, I'm sure. And there is the lingering question of getting into Stan's hut for a toothbrush. That seems to be the other outstanding issue at this moment. I hacked down the entire tree. Consider it a stump.
Another resource has given its all in support of my personal goals. It's what nature is for.
Oh, poor fellows.
I must have startled them while I was whittling. Some animals are quite skittish.
Did I give him the apology frog? No, I've used that already.
I carved it myself.
Poor woodland creatures.
Hey, deer.
Deer's crying. Birds are shivering.
Time for them to fly south.
We eradicated their habitat. That was unkind, perhaps. But I guess we'll leave things as is. This is very reminiscent of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, actually. Many hours later. Yeah, we wrecked a forest. Okay, we need something for the mop head. Probably the sponge. Actually, the sponge works perfectly, I think. We'll combine.
I made a mop.
There we go. There's the mop.
It's a single perfect instrument that I will keep and use for a lifetime.
Okay, great.
Pirate Times. Editor,
so
Conrad
we
Lee.
need to figure out how to get into
genius.
Stan's hut. And we also need to figure out how to enchant the eye patch for the disguise, because we've got the mop, but that's just one part of the puzzle. So let's see what we can actually do here at this point. We need to think about that toothbrush. Don't remember what it was we needed to do to
The window's all boarded up.
get through that.
And it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush?
Need to unboard that somehow. So yeah, what did I say? We need the disguise. What was the remaining part of the disguise? Oh, it probably is just the toothbrush itself. In fact, if you think about how it was in reference to something with lots of bristles, or... You know what? We actually have a logbook in this game. As reluctant as I am to just check the quest tracker, we do have a quest tracker. Bite of 1,000 needles. I think the bite of 1,000 needles might legitimately just be the toothbrush. Particularly because the toothbrush itself is not on the checklist. So let's consult with Stan again to see how we should go about doing so. In case we're just missing something small. the jail, okay. Oh, we haven't interacted with Whitey Bones at all, so...
When they get close to finding it, suddenly they are gone.
Don't know what Whitey Bones is useful for yet.
You can find a golden key, but you cannot own it. A lock is a beautiful thing. A key, even more so.
Okay, the other thing is that we have the picture here.
It's torn and ugly, but strangely compelling.
We haven't figured out what that's potentially useful for yet.
It's
or
soft
the
and
stuffed
extra
animal,
fuzzy.
for that matter. So we need some way.
Pirate Times. Editor.
Kind of want to give that
Hey,
card
kid.
to Stan just to see what happens.
Hot diggity,
Nope, he
what a
doesn't
day,
take it.
huh?
Let's talk to him.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
Okay, so we need to
See you
figure
later.
out
Yep.
then how to get into the hut.
Music just makes you want to tap your feet, doesn't it?
This thing with 1,000 whatevers. Bite of 1,000 needles. I really feel like that's just a toothbrush. So what resources do we have to work with here? We have keys. We have some coins. I want to go back to the mansion for this to see.
It's soft and extra fuzzy. Pirate Times.
I feel like we can probably, yeah,
No
give
offense,
away the business
but
card
I
as
wanna
well.
be sure
Not
you don't
here.
waste your whole day in here.
That's probably useful at some point, just not at the moment. Oh, Splatoon has been updated. That totally breaks my replays that I was hoping to get a chance to see, but that's okay. So long, undercover brawler matchups from last week. A legendary sequence. Okay, new trivia card. What have we got? Chucky's friend is called D. She called me Zithead.
It seems to be stuck closed.
Can we do something about unsticking it? I don't think so. Unless the business card can crack open doors or something. No, probably not.
Employees only.
Can't pick up a sign either. Okay, so
The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
well, I mean, I have some cash. I wonder if I can just offer it somehow. Well, let's
What's new, guys?
talk to the
Not
pirates.
much, but be sure to come see us at the shop tomorrow.
That's assuming we stay until tomorrow. At this rate, we should be able to get the ship in no time. Untangle this string. I wonder if this is going to be useful
hopeless.
here. Got to string the painting. Not all of this will be useful right away necessarily, but... Bit of 1,000 needles. I feel like asking the voodoo lady for more specifics may actually help. Yeah, let's just talk to her directly. Interestingly enough, impressive cauldron. I wonder if we can just dump something in there.
The Feast of Knowledge.
Feast of knowledge. Can we dump something in there? Possibly. Let's talk to her first.
Can you tell me where to find the bite of 1,000 needles?
Yeah, that's a useful thing to ask.
Me too.
Okay, so we can't find that.
Never mind.
I never do.
Let's ask the cartographer again. That may be relatively helpful. Either that or it's the curator of the other museum who might know it.
Hey, Wally. Bye.
We talked about this already.
Hey, Wally. What's with the window ladder?
I use it to keep an eye on the neighbors.
Well, it's good to have a hobby.
I don't think I can actually use that directly myself, so, well. Let's go around. I don't think there's anything here that I haven't already checked. At least once. Did we ever enter this?
Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises.
Well... yeah, we definitely can't charter this ship yet, so... Out of 1,000 needles, we can just ask the quartermaster about it, perhaps. Interact a bit over there instead. Give it a trivia card. What far sea creature can be seen? Let's not answer that yet. I don't know the answer.
Clever.
The ship?
Expedition to fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here. Hey.
Okay, probably still unable to get me through without the disguise.
I'm not Guybrush Threepwood.
We can make some excuses, of course,
like
but
you'd be
find an
amazed
object.
how often people confuse us. Sometimes I impersonate
It's got to
him
be
at
a
parties,
toothbrush.
just for fun.
But we just can't
We've
get
never
there yet.
even met, and I doubt I'd like him if we did.
Even if any of that were true, it wouldn't matter. LeChuck would take one look at you and go nuts. Just looking like Guybrush Threepwood is enough that I can't give you the job. Sorry.
Okay. Not good enough.
I hope this isn't one of those party cruises.
Now, we haven't interacted with anything here in quite
Looks
some
like
time,
this is
so
going to
we
be a long journey. Say
check
what you
this
want
just
about
in
my
case.
evil, horrible nemesis LeChuck, but he does no parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4.
Okay, let's take a look at the name of this object again. Bite of 1,000 needles. It has to be the toothbrush, but Stan sent me there to get it. It was boarded up. Do we have anything that can get through the boards? Possibly. The other thing that we can do is show off our new mob.
Hey, watch it!
Oh, that seems new. Or not. Oh no, that was just something from the bar. Well, things have been going pretty smoothly so far. We're just missing this one step here.
What's new, guys?
Not much, but be sure to come see us at the shop tomorrow.
Okay, that remains unchanged. Yeah, if it's boarded up, how do we unboard it? I feel like we need to travel some more to answer that question.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Okay, anything new here? Let's see. What was this book again?
At the end of the plank.
Yeah,
My
the
mother's.
plank.
Please don't touch it.
I wonder if we can do some kind of swap. Where we take the other book. Although I didn't return to cookbook now, did I? So who knows if we can do any additional borrowings. At the end of the plank, we'll borrow it. Possibly we can do some kind of swap, but we'll see.
I have to return the book I borrowed first.
Okay, return it, except I can't because it is in LeChuck's possession.
I don't really have anything to say. Doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Okay, so no real interaction there.
Stay out of my bedroom, Three-Boy.
I wonder if we can pick up some of these plans. We don't have the opportunity to do so, though, so I guess not. Make our way back into the island's interior. Maybe so. We can figure out what we haven't actually looked at in the island yet. Because we swept everything here pretty closely. Still never really talked to Whitey Bones very much. So that's one potential missing link here. The sound is stuttery. Okay, thanks for letting me know. I'll try to fix that. See, my render time is actually a little bit off. So, hopefully it hasn't been a huge problem for too long here. Because we did have one audio fix that we needed to do much earlier. I'll probably not be on for too long today anyway, so we'll try to fix it up quickly. For future streams of this game, I might try to dial things down to 30 FPS anyway, rather than 60. We don't really need 60 for the animations here, since everything is pretty easy to follow and pretty smooth as is. So yeah, we definitely perhaps have some issues with rendering here. That's okay, we'll take a look at it. Hopefully the sound is okay from here. Do let me know if we have any persistent problems. Okay. We need to talk to Stan, actually, because I think we need to. It's still bad. Huh. Okay. Yeah, the video render is taking some time on my end, and that might be part of the issue here. Let's try to do this again. I don't know how bad it's been lately, or if it just started acting up very recently. Do let me know if that's any better. Otherwise, we might just end stream relatively soon, although I would like to solve this bit here since we're very near the end of this segment, as far as I can tell.
If you listen close, you can hear the gears grinding.
Speaking of which, we might want to consider going back to the museum. I wonder if we can use the cash with the general store. Do we have cash? We do. Nope. Doesn't look like it. We also never figured out what to do with the string.
It's hopeless.
Possibly. Do we have any combinations that we can do here? Let's take a look. Probably not. Not using the hint book, of course. We have principles about that sort of thing.
This is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work.
Hello, Mr. Brush.
Hiya.
Okay, so we can't turn the previous book just yet. Can I just take the book? No, I think we tried that previously. What's this map again?
I see a peninsula trailing off into small islands.
Ah, yeah, that's
but
just
no
Florida.
X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
Got a clever nested boxes. We gotta go back to the dock, in fact, just to inspect what we're dealing with here. It's the boarded up shop. Do we have anything that can deal with the boards potentially? Maybe the knife.
Pirate Times, editor Conrad Lee, ready to publish your unrecognized genius.
Don't know if anybody fits the bill as somebody who would be looking for that. We can also talk to the pirate leaders quickly. Although I kind of doubt that's going to be what allows me to progress.
Are you sure I can't persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Yes.
So, a couple of things that we haven't really used here yet was the painting that we're not going to return to the chef.
Coming along nicely.
Business card.
Pirate Times.
Now, who here is attempting to pen some work of unrecognized genius? We don't know that yet. Now, this fellow
You in? I know you.
has fulfilled his purpose in life already, apparently.
Later, I can't understand why this is taking so long. Just bring
Okay,
me
Cook's
what
working
the
on it.
governor served me last week.
Of course, sir. Sorry for the delay.
I wonder if we can grab that off of the cook. Serve this fellow accordingly. Examine a grimy
It's
book.
Carla's copy of Ingredients by Barbie LaFleur.
I can totally
well,
take it
probably
off.
fine.
Or grab whatever meal is in here, perhaps.
Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday.
No, I actually want to return to book because
So
we
much
want
to do.
the other book.
Are you done with the cookbook? I'd like it back.
I'm still using it.
Still using it, okay.
Coming along nicely.
You know what?
Brilliant
Let's
innovation.
show this fella to mop. Yeah, we can have
Look at
some
my new
interaction
map.
here.
I made it myself.
That's a fantastic mop. Absorbent, expertly carved handle. It should last you a lifetime of fine mopping. Seems like a lot, but okay.
Now, can we actually mop anything around here? Nope. We can just give it to him to admire, apparently. Seems like it's not only the
This will
audio, but
be
also the stream
excellent.
itself. Yeah, let me take a look at this. It looks like it's the rendering lag, perhaps. Because my network is perfectly fine. Yeah, it's running a little bit slow on the video. I actually kind of wonder what's going on here. It's like it's not running at full power. Looking at
3
how I'm doing here.
teaspoons in a tablespoon.
It is pretty stuttery, actually. It's just skipping frames entirely. Yeah, given the issues that we're running into here and the fact that I'll need to kind of dawdle around, maybe it is a good time for me to end stream.
Oops. Oh, well, probably fine.
I would like to
Do
get
I
this
really
last
have to
clue
salt it so often?
down, but we're having enough performance issues that I would probably ordinarily need to restart anyway. And so, given the circumstance here, we might actually cut off for the day while I ponder this clue. Let's see if we can do an additional trivia card, perhaps. And yeah, I'm looking at this, and the video on the stream is pretty stuttery, so we'll probably dial things down. No escaping. Definitely missing something in here. But yeah, we are losing a lot of frames, in fact. So.
wanted.
I think in that case,
Any
we will
information leading to
probably...
the arrest and conviction of the person or persons who destroyed the historic mop tree.
Wasn't me.
Keep an eye out for them.
Totally was me. Yeah, I think we do have to abort at this point then, because I think the video is dropping like 20% of frames or something. I don't know why it's doing that. I've never seen this happen quite this badly. It might be something on my computer that's interfering with it, because it's definitely not doing the video render at full power. So, with that said then, I think we'll probably adjourn for the day. We have a small enough audience that I don't know if it's worthwhile to be rating anybody, but I'll look around just in case. But thank you for joining me, to people who have come by. And I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far to the extent that it has worked. I'll have to look over my video and see just how bad it is. In the meantime, though, we are going to continue with Monkey Island over the course of the next week. We will, of course, have Mario Maker this coming weekend with 7MMC on the Saturday to Sunday stream, and we'll see if we can add a viewer level stream sometime between now and then as well. Although right now I can't guarantee that for sure. Yeah, regardless, we'll hopefully get the issues with the stream fixed up soon enough, and in the meantime, as we listen to all the bird calls here on the screen, thanks so much for watching. We'll see if we can send you on. Until next time, have a wonderful weekend ahead of you. Happy playing and making and whatever else. And as always, everything well.